stellar game yesterday. A lot of excitement in that game there. A lot to be seen from that one. Calgary getting the early lead, 4-0 in that one. Coming back, Brampton with the late goal in the second, parlaying that into 2 more goals in the third to make it a 4-3 final. And they had their chances. They had the chance to win it. Delaney Bryan had to be solid at the end there to make the saves. Let's take a look at those highlights right now.
Action here at Winsport, and we are underway as the Inferno win that opening face-off there. Takeuchi up the left wing to Hagen, dumping it in down and around the back of the net. As along the close boards here, Sonia with it breaking out to the front. Shot, there's a goal! She scores with 15 seconds gone. Jill Sonia getting quick on the board there. Campbell in on a breakaway, cutting in over the blue line. Shot low, glove save by Howe. She covers that one up for stoppage with 17:15 as Campbell broke in over to Bram as we got 5 seconds left in the power play. Bram from her knees, shot, dribbles through, keeping it out was a sprawling Burchard, and breaking up now. Down on the breakaway was Rebecca Vint as she stepped out of the box, and Bryan standing tall on that one, keeping it 1-0 Calgary of Curio. Curio down the right wing, and blocker save by Howe. Has to level back over to Jenner, bouncing puck, and Howe with a Howe save, and there's on the rebound. There's Aoki playing some cleanup on that one.
Level, that was level.
Was that level over there?
100% that was level.
That was
1-5.
Well, I didn't see the one.
The one bent, but the blonde hair should have gave it away.
So now down the right wing, just Larocque and Howe to beat. Shot, and Howe holding on to that one. Left of Howe as won by Wickenheiser up to the point for Cudmore. Back tic-tac-toe pass. Cudmore with the shot, doesn't make it through. Loose puck down in front on the backhand rebound there. That looks like that's going to be Hag that's going to get credit with that goal. As Fortino trying to pass it off. Lovell with it now, loose down in front. Amazing shoulder save and gloved away by Howe. As bouncing puck, Fortino almost redirecting that over and cleaning up the garbage. There's Lovell to notch her second of the game, making it 4-0 Calgary.
Well, her ears must have been burning. She's now tied with Poulin once again for the scoring lead in the CWHL.
Jones with it for the Thunder. Up on a break. Here comes Rattray. Forehand back and knocked off her stick. And clears that one in for a goal to break that shutout to make it 4-1 for the still in favor of the Calgary Inferno. The Inferno end, centering pass, and Bryan there, and somehow from her knees, the Brampton player shooting that one in and just going high over top.
Behind the goal line too, I think.
Yeah, I think it was behind the goal line. On the right side there, over to Rattray, up to Fortino. Fortino holds, shot through traffic. That's going to be a goal to make it 4-3. And up there by Crom, up high to Edney. Edney saved by Bryan, somehow keeping that one out on the rebound from Stiles. And covering up is Crom, and Stiles not liking what's going on there. Turnbull, and that is going to do it. As Burchard tried to get the last second shot off there. 4-3 is going to be your final in a very close fought game here, as the Calgary Inferno extend their league-leading record, home record, at 4 wins and 1 loss. To go with a total 8-1 on the season.
And we are back here at the Markham McPhail Center as the teams are set to come out onto the ice here. We're going to send it down to the announcer here as they bring out the Calgary Inferno and the Brampton Thunder to a roaring crowd here of a whole bunch of young female hockey players.
Let's
here
talk
for
about that
WICFest
for a real quick second, right? You know, WICFest is going on right now. Of course, it's a much larger name than that now with all the sponsorship and everything from Canadian Tire to help make that the title sponsor and everything. And you know, lots of kids here this weekend. We've got some special opening ceremonies here for, or a ceremonial puck drop, I should say, for the Inferno game here. And fine, I guess we'll cut down to the box feed, just like your.
Well, they haven't done that just yet, so we got a few seconds there. I jumped the gun a little bit.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
But you know,
I forgot the fact they got to come on the ice first.
They got to come on the ice before they do any of those intros and that kind of stuff as well. So.
Yeah. And of course, last night's game, if you missed it, 4-3 in favor of the Inferno. 4 straight goals to start off the game, including that quick goal 15 seconds into the game by Jill Saunier, as you saw in the highlights there. And then Brampton storming back to make a game of it, making it 4-3. And looks like we're going to get a different goal to the net for Brampton here. It looks like Liz Knox is going to be the starter there, while Delaney Bryan looks like she's going again for the Inferno.
All right, here we go. Here's starting lineups for you.
Therapist can keep you in the starting lineup. Starting in goal for the Brampton Thunder, number 37, Liz Knox. On defense, number 3, Jocelyn Larocque. On defense, number 13, Sarah Edney. At forward, number 12, Rebecca Vint. At forward, number 9, Kristen Richards. At forward, number 91, Jenna McFarland. The Hockey Calgary warm-up skater is Gabby Murphy. They are coached by Tyler Fines and Kevin Stone. And your starting lineup for the Calgary Inferno. Starting at goal, number 30, Delaney Bryan. On defense, number 11, Jackie Pieri. On defense, number 8, Erica Crom. At forward, number 16, Kristen Haig. At forward, number 27, Jillian Saunier. And at forward, number 22, Haley Wickenheiser. Their Hockey Calgary warm-up skater is Shannon McLeod. They are coached by Scott Reed and assistant coach Gina Kinsbury. Please welcome Brian Reed for our ceremony face-off. Brian is a longtime supporter of the Canada Women's Hockey League. He is currently working with the league to finance the crowdsourcing program. Brian is the CEO and owner of Horizon Plastics in Cobourg, Ontario, and is currently an honorary colonel of the Air Force Engineers. Haley and Brian raised $15,000 to help bring Grace's West North Timberland team to the WICFest tournament. Let's give them a round of applause. Could we please get both captains from each team to the center ice? Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to please stand and remove your hats for the singing of O Canada.
Bryan, goalie from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Jackie Pieri, defense, Montclair, New Jersey. Erica Crom, defense, Long Island, New York. Kristen Haig, forward, Edmonton, Alberta.
Haley Wickenheiser, forward, Shaunavon, Saskatchewan.
Jill Saunier, forward, Halifax, Nova Scotia.
That, of course, was your Alberta Athletic Therapists Association starting lineup for the Calgary Inferno, going right back with the same 3 forwards that they had last game that got the quick start 15 seconds in, Marshall. Probably not a bad decision on Coach Reed's part to go back with them in the start of this game here as we get all set for action down here at the Markin McPhail Center. Players and teams are just getting set up there, and we will have your puck drop for you momentarily. And of course, as you know, as you can see on your screen, Calgary on the left, Brampton on the right. I'll set it up for you again, Marshall, since you're busy texting.
No, I'm just making sure that all of our pizza for postgame is ready today from Boston Pizza Motel Village for that postgame show. So just checking that out, making sure we're all set up. Got to get a couple extra in because, Inferno GM Chantal Champagne asked. So, we deliver. It's kind of...
well, Boston Pizza delivers.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. We are getting set. Left to right action here, just as you're seeing on your screen. As well, if you're tuned in live at CWHL.ca, we are underway here as the puck is loose at center ice there. Sarah Edney back to Jocelyn the Rock and up to McParland. As that one went up into the bench there, as looked like Karam was almost taking McParland up there too.
Yeah, right in the linesman who was trying to get out of the way there.
Check that. Sorry, that was Richards. See, it took yesterday it took 15 seconds to get a goal. Today it took 13 seconds for me to get a name wrong. So, we'll call it good. This face-off coming just outside the Brampton zone in front of the Thunder bench, and won by the Thunder as McParland back over to Edney on the left wing now. Skates up through neutral ice over to the center line, and before dumping it in down around the boards into the corner there is Krom. And Richards, Wickenheiser in there off her stick. McParland with it now. Dropping it back down low into the corner. Richards cycling that around the back of the net there. Pierre and McParland beating her there as Haig pulls it off the boards and skating with it in her own end. Does so down the left side up to neutral ice, losing control of that. Jones picks that up there. Jones with it at the face-off circle. Centering pass over to Larocque. Larocque just a little hot. Loose puck behind through Brian's pads before Haig scooped that out of the way. And that was a great chance for the Thunder to get on the board early, showing a lot of that prowess and effort that they had ending the game yesterday. Thunder definitely out to avenge themselves today and make sure that that happens as Burchard down the left wing drops over for Rattray. And the shot wide of Brian, held in by Montgomery in front of the Inferno bench. Centering pass out front, shot high into the glove of Delaney Bryan as she keeps it a scoreless tilt here with 18:40 left in the first period.
Delaney Bryan having to be sharp early here as Brampton coming out of the gate strong. We talked to, of course, Rattray after the game yesterday, and they said they wanted to come out like they did in the third period, and they've done that so far.
And they are applying the pressure for sure. Most of the puck has been in the Inferno end to start off this morning's game as Esposito tries to get it out before McIntosh breaks up that pass there, drops it back to the point. Burchard with a long shot and deflected wide to the left of Bryan. As on the opposite side there, Fortino pushing it in out front, trying to get it as Takeuchi, though, breaking up that pass. Fortino down, battling with it with Takeuchi now over to her defensive partner Aoki in the skates of the official as King with it now behind the Inferno net. King on the backhand was looking to center, but that was taken away. Fortino pushing it down into the corner. And Jenner with the puck for the Inferno now. Rink wide over to Esposito as she breaks down the right wing. In over the blue line onside before taken into the boards by Burchard. As it's number 12 Vint for the Thunder, pushing it up to Richards at center ice there. And into the Inferno end. Cudmore cutting her off and getting to the puck first. As Haley Cudmore circles back behind the icing line there over to Webster. And Webster on the right wing passing that one up to Bram. Knocked off her stick by Vint. Lifted up and in as McParland with it now on the left side, trying to get a shot through, can't get it, holds on to it, shot from the face-off circle, and that one was saved by Bryan as well. 17:20 left in the first here as Turnbull breaking in, but knocked off her stick by number 19 Simmons. Bram with it now back to her own blue line, up to Turnbull, tipping that one in as Knox seeing the first touch of the puck there for the game. Styles down the left wing. Bryan went to go play it before realizing that Styles was in, coming pretty hot. A loose puck out front, shot wide to the left of Bryan, pokes it behind the net there as Rattray battling with Pieri. Up to Kirio now with it. Yeah, up to center there for Cunningham. Off her stick, knocked by Larocque. Bram up to Kirio, coming in down the left wing. Edney all over her, holding up at the half boards on the opposite side of the rink there. As Cunningham with it now for the Inferno, trying to get it in the middle. Jones picks up that pass, trying to get that up to Rattray. She was held up though as Takeuchi with it for the Inferno, back behind her own net. Jones in on her. Takeuchi losing control of that. Back to Jones. Jones centering out front. Nobody there as it went through the blue paint of the crease. And we've got a penalty coming up here to Brampton as Montgomery touches that one. And it looks as though it's going to be Jess Jones going off for a couple minutes for tripping up Cunningham there.
Yeah, it will be definitely a Brampton penalty there as the stick kind of got lost there from Jones, but it ended up dumping the Inferno player. So we are going to head to the power play. This power play, of course, is brought to you by Deckel Doctors. Go to deckeldoctorswithaz.com and make sure to give yourself the advantage over the competition.
And face-off circle coming to the left of Liz Knox, won by the Inferno. As Turnbull with it at the blue line. Over to Cunningham, back, check that, Cudmore. Cudmore with it to Turnbull, back to Cudmore. Cudmore skating with it to the center area. Cudmore with it now, circling down below the icing lines. As Richards taking away the pass, and the shot just over the stick of Jenner as it was a little hot pass there from Cudmore. Bryan way out of her net to play for it. And Bryan going down hard as players were taken out as she came to play that, and Turnbull with the heads up was back in the net just in case. Jenner now down the right wing looking up for Esposito, and that's off her stick. Esposito with it in the far corner. Esposito skating towards middle, pass back to Jenner, looking for a pass, can't do it, and cleared out the length of the ice as Bryan's there with a minute left in the Inferno power play here. 15-20 left in the first period, still scoreless from the Mark and McPhail Center here at Winsport in Calgary, Alberta. Down the left wing, Jess Campbell breaking in over the blue line, coming in down, cutting towards the front of the net. Can't get it back on the backhand. Wickenheiser with a shot, pad save by Knox, and Bram was right there trying to get the rebound, but Knox covering that one up for a stoppage of play with 48 seconds left on the Inferno power play. Well,
heads up play by Campbell there. Looked like she was getting ready to spin and shoot, but thought better of it, saw the open Wickenheiser at the point, and a great scoring chance there as Knox not able to corral that rebound initially, giving that second opportunity before she could find the puck.
And Bram and Montgomery in the face-off circle. Bram waved out. So looks like Wickenheiser's going to draw in with Montgomery to the glove side of Liz Knox. Won by Montgomery. Edney with it back behind the net. Over to Larocque. Larocque trying to clear it up off the boards. Does so. As Wickenheiser retreating Montgomery in on the forecheck. Wickenheiser stops behind her net. Comes up the left side there. Looking for a real stretch pass in level onside. Of course, level with 2 goals last night. And Campbell with the puck now. Wickenheiser over on the right point. Keeping that in at the blue line. Over to Cunningham. Cunningham trying to get it through and broken up by Montgomery, but Campbell getting there, keeping it in as Bram with it now. Just 8 seconds left in the power play. Montgomery skates with it now, up over center. And dumping it in off on a line change, as that's going to do it for the Inferno power play. Wickenheiser now with it. Over center ice, long shot right on the crest of Liz Knox, and she's going to hang out to that one for another face-off with 14:09 left in the first.
Haley Wickenheiser showing what she thinks of the Brampton Thunder there, trying to beat their crest into the ground. Or something like that.
A solid shot from on target from center ice. So
you could hear the thud all the way up here.
That's because of our awesome mics that we got down there now. And this was won by the Inferno. Pieri with it back at her own blue line. Jenner at center ice now, circling around with it. As it's up to Saunier. Saunier's shot off the stick of number 24, Burchard, into the glass. So that's circled around back as Turnbull with it now for the Inferno, trying to center it out front. Pieri, bouncing puck, couldn't quite keep it in at the blue line. As a rink-wide pass over to Jenner. Jenner rink wide back to Turnbull down the right wing over the blue line, losing control as Cadillon was trying to clear that out, couldn't do so. Is back behind the Thunder net. Fortino over to McIntosh, up off the glass and out to neutral ice. Jenner on the right wing, centering pass over for Saunier. Saunier shot through, bouncing puck wide as Knox managed to steer that one wide. As both teams still looking for that first goal of the game. Cudmore with it at center ice now, skating towards the right wing, down and just fanning on the puck as it bouncing a bit up on edge there. Esposito behind the Thunder net, drops it back there in for Wickenheiser. As battling along the boards, Wickenheiser and Stiles. Esposito with it now, up to the left point. Webster shot, save by Knox. And that's blocked using her body. Cudmore at center ice now, left wing over for Esposito, cutting in. And down the right side now with it, Esposito shot off the skates of number 19, Simmons. Esposito in there. Styles with it for the Thunder now. Circling around down low. Lifting that up and out to center ice as Jones dumping that one in. And Takeuchi for the Inferno now behind the Inferno net. Skating up the left side there. 12:15 left in the first. Simmons at center ice. That's knocked off. Cunningham breaking in down the right wing. Tries to get a shot. Shot and a pad save by Knox as the puck goes behind the Thunder net. Bram with it now in the far right corner. Bram skating up along the blue line in the center area and the slot dropping down. Low shot. Loose puck down in front. Scramble for it. Loose puck still squirts out back up to the Thunder blue line. As Bram with it there on the left point. Takeuchi high slot. Shot low along the ice. As the streaking Campbell in front looking for a redirect and distracting Knox, but no good. That went wide. As McParland with it now, lifting it up and out. As Takeuchi with it now over to Campbell. Up to Bram. Bram bringing that in onside, but knocked off by McParland. And that one's back in now, back for Edney. As McParland with it now at center ice. Trying to dump that in. Crom knocking that away. Turnbull with it now for the Inferno. Trying to clear it up and out. Knocked up her stick by McIntosh at the Inferno blue line. Puck comes in. It's onside. Crom with it. Trying to clear it out. Does so. LaRock with it now back in neutral ice. Dumping it in to the far left corner here as it circles around the board there. Crom dropping it back for Pieri. Pieri up to Jenner now and trying to clear it out. Turnbull with it. Skating backwards. Pass behind her over to Jenner. Skating towards slot. Knocked up her stick. Edney into the glass there. McIntosh with it for the Thunder. Over to King. King coming up. And into the Inferno end as it's in the far corner there as Webster circles it around to Cudmore. Cudmore on the right side up to Turnbull. And Turnbull trying to clear it through looking for Lovell but couldn't do that. Cudmore with it now. Over to Jenner. Jenner coming in onside making the move. Centering pass. Picked up by number 24 though, Courtney Burchard. As Jenner with it now behind the net, passing it around. We've got a delayed call coming up against Brampton here. 10:25 left in the first period. And this one's coming up against Brampton once again.
Yes, it is. And this Inferno power play is brought to you by DeckelDoctors.com. Deckel Doctors. Go to DeckelDoctors.com to give you the advantage over your competition.
Zed is also a Z for any American listeners that have tuned in. This face-off.
Kind of sad. I always want to go with Z, actually. I have to correct myself.
Face-off won by the Inferno as they find themselves on another power play. Second of the game here is Campbell with it now. Down low to Lovell. Trying to get up to the point. Couldn't do so. Held in there by Cunningham, though, but trying to break it out there is number 12, Vint. As it's into the corner, and Lovell with it for the Inferno along the half boards here. Skating up to the slot, drops back to the right point. Wickenheiser back over to Lovell. Lovell shot low, wide to the right of Knox into the corner. As Bram with it now for the Inferno. Bram in front of the blue line there. Over to Wickenheiser down low. Wickenheiser at the faceoff circle. Over to Bram on her backhand. Back up to Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser putting it on net, looking for Campbell, and couldn't connect on that one. As Campbell with it now down low at the faceoff circle. Over to Bram. Bram trying to get it through. That was broken up by the Thunder player. Shot from the high slot by Wickenheiser wide. And that one's behind the Thunder net. Lovell brings it out front. Shot. There's a goal on Campbell to make it 1-0 Inferno. Power play goal. As Lovell tried to put that on. Knox with the first save, but the rebound given up. And that one knocked in by Jess Campbell to make it 1-0.
And that Inferno goal brought to you by Calgary Old Time Hockey Players Association. Scored by number 20, Jessica Campbell. We'll get the assists on that shortly. And a nice second effort there as that puck skirted over, and she got that up and in quickly, and the referee in the perfect position to see that one and call that a goal.
It looked in and out, but it was definitely in as it went off the top of the net.
Number 20, Jessica Campbell. Assisted by number 15, Elena Lovell, and number 14, Jenna Cunningham.
So Campbell from Lovell and Cunningham to make it 1-0 here on a power play goal as Curio is breaking in down the right wing once again, trying to get a shot on net, and that one's saved and cleared up as McIntosh lifting it up once she gets to her own blue line into center ice. Aoki with it now on the right side. Putting it up, Jenner trying to clear it in. McIntosh breaking that pass up. McIntosh with it now. Just out of the reach of Styles, into the skates of Takeuchi. Aoki there to grab it. Styles still on pursuit of the puck there as Aoki with it, losing control. Rattray centering pass out front. Nobody there to connect on it for the Thunder as that's cleared back to the Thunder blue line. And Inferno taking advantage of that for a quick line change. Edney down the left wing, up to Jones, tipping it in. And Brian just stalls that puck a little bit. Cudmore behind her net, skating up now the left side. Cudmore up to Saunier. Saunier skating over center ice into the blue line. Dropping it there in a low pass. Cudmore at the face-off circle. Shot off the side of the net. And Wickenheiser behind the net with Edney. Wickenheiser in the far corner. Along the half boards, puck coming out. Webster there trying to get it. Rattray all over her. Rattray grabs that one. Edney down the right wing. Edney with a shot and a save by Brian. Brian looked as though she was trying to sweep that one away, but managed to stop that for a stoppage of play here.
CWHL wish to express thanks to our sponsors, the Canada's Dairy Farmers, Scotiabank, Sportsnet, Winsport, Bauer, Tim Hortons, Molson Coors, Globe and Mail, Bridgeforce, Porter, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Montreal Canadiens.
And the faceoff was won by the Thunder there. Inferno picking the puck up now as Pieri with it in her own end. Right wing pass up to Turnbull at center ice. Turnbull looking to stretch in, knocked down by Fortino. The puck was, as it's up to McParland on her own half boards there, off the leg of number 26, Turnbull. As Fortino with it over center ice, down the right side into the Inferno zone, knocked off her stick by Pieri. As that's around the back of the net there is Vint and Bram battling with it with Crum, comes loose. Cadillon with it, centering out front. McParland with a pad save by Brian. Looking like she didn't know where that one was. And Turnbull behind the net. Pieri with it now. Left wing pass for Campbell. Campbell managed to get it out there as Richards was trying to keep it in. Simmons knocking it in. And Crum behind her own net now with 6:45 left in the first period here. If you're tuning in on CWHLlive.com, welcome. We're simulcast as well in audio at CWHLlive.com/Inferno. As Lovell now with it down the right wing. Cunningham trying to break in. Whitaker knocking it off her stick. Lovell along the close right half boards there. As the Thunder trying to clear it out. Aoki at the right point. Long shot, bouncing puck. Paddle save by Knox. Went up and over the net. She looked a little confused on that one as well. But the Thunder managed to clear this up to center ice. Jenner with it now. Jenner down the left wing. Jenner holds on to it, tries to get the shot away. It's knocked off her stick. King for the Thunder now behind the net to Simmons. Trying to clear that out. Bounced off of an Inferno leg and over to King on the left wing. Skates over center, dumping it down the left side there. Takeuchi and Rattray battle. Takeuchi gets there first. Jenner on the right wing trying to skate out her own end. Looking for a pass. LaRock kneeling down to block that. Rattray with it now down over the blue line. Shot wide to the right of Brian. As the puck down in behind the Inferno net. Takeuchi keeping Rattray off that one as Aoki lifting that up to the blue line. And Simmons unable to keep it in at the blue. As Saunier with it for the Inferno, skating down the left wing. LaRock knocking her into the corner. Webster at the point over to Cudmore. Cudmore on the right wing now. Shot doesn't make it through as Edney blocking that one up. LaRock with it. Off the glass, up and out to McParland. She ran into Webster. Hard to take down the 6-foot-tall blonde there as Esposito breaking down the right wing. Esposito holds. Shot through the legs of Burchard, but hitting another body in front. As it was tried to clear out by Jones and off Campbell's shoulder. As Burchard with it now at her own blue line, skating over center. Burchard with it back over to Fortino. Fortino down the left side. Shot right on the chest of Brian there. She's going to hang on to that one for a stoppage here with 4:45 left to play. Shots heavily in favor of the Inferno, 11-7.
That's correct. Definitely shots favoring the Inferno right now as they've got past that short comings in the early start where Brampton kind of controlled the play early in the first few minutes. To be applying the pressure now. And face-off one. McParland with a shot high over the blocker side of Brian as it circles around. Fortino keeps it in on the right point now. As centering pass out front, can't get anyone. Fortino fans on the shot, doesn't get it all. As the Inferno looking to break it up now. Campbell with it now down the left wing. Campbell cuts to the front of the net, drops it. Loose shot. Puck. Crum cleaning that one up to get her goal.
I believe that's Crum's first goal of the season.
I believe you are correct on that one.
To make it 2-0.
Erica Crom there finding that loose puck there, sniping it past Liz Knox, who was further back in her net as she was playing the original play. And a great heads-up shot by Erica Crom to make it 2-0 for the Calgary Inferno with 4:24 left to play in the first period. I'm getting a little sense of deja vu, aren't you?
Well, the Inferno have to make sure that they're going to play all 60 minutes of hockey here. Can't just play 45 or 50. There's still lots of hockey left.
Number 8, Erica Crom, assisted by number 20, Jessica Campbell, and number 11, Jackie Pierre. Time of the goal, 15:48.
All right. So we got Crom from Campbell and Pierre as we're back underway here. And Bram with it behind her own net, trying to clear it up and out, unable to do so. As it's battling Montgomery with it there, trying to clear it, or keep it in, I should say. McIntosh with it, Campbell managing to get that out. Edney, though, picks it up at center ice. Edney with the shot, and a save by Bryan as she drops that one. Over to Takeuchi now. Takeuchi dropping it behind the back of the net there for Kirio on the close side. Kirio on the right wing up to Jenner. Jenner lifting that up and over Edney. Stick. Knox playing that over to Jones. Jones trying to lift it up. Yeah, we got an offside here as Kirio was still a little deep in the zone there before Cudmore knocking that puck back in.
As we are getting set here to head into intermission, Brampton looking for a little bit of life to try and swing the tide back, get some momentum going into the second period. As we get face-off move back outside the Inferno blue line here. I guess they're calling the intentional offside. But Calgary none too happy with it, but it is what it is.
And face-off won by the Inferno as Cudmore with the puck now. Up to Jenner. She's knocked down awkwardly. Kirio with the puck breaking in down the right wing. Kirio with the puck down below the icing line. Edney knocking her off, though, as Hag's in there. Hag and Styles battling. Picked up by Kirio. Can't get it off on the backhand. Running into LaRock. Another solid player there. Actually, all these girls are pretty solid. I wouldn't want to run into any of them. As Rattray with it now, down the left wing, in over the Inferno blue line, pass over to LaRock, looking for the redirect. That one's up into the netting for a stoppage of play here with 2:44 left.
Marshall, the way you skate, any of these young females in attendance would knock you flying if you ran into them.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm talking about the ones in Wickfest.
Yeah, most of them would. As face-off coming blocker side of Delaney Bryan to her right, as it's through the legs of Wickenheiser and Richards there trying to get to it, but knocked off the stick there. Wickenheiser with it behind the Inferno net, skating up down the left side over the Inferno blue line, over center ice, and in over the Thunder line as it's down in behind the icing line. Out front there, Lovell with the shot, blocker save. Knox turning to keep that one out as that rebound had the back of the net going on it. And Pierre back in her own end now as a heads-up save by Knox to keep it 2-0 in favor of the Inferno.
Had to find that one.
As Richard with it now for the Thunder. Trying to clear it out. McIntosh over in the center ice. Cadillon with it now. Drops to King, drops to Fortino. Shot, pad save by Bryan off the right toe. King behind the Inferno net. King dropping it there. Out front, shot, Cadillon. Rebound, and Fortino taken down as Takeuchi with it for the Inferno now clears it up to center ice. In over the blue line is Lovell. Lovell hanging on from the face-off circle, high over the net and over Knox as it goes around the boards, and Bram with it now back at center ice. Over to Webster on the left side in her own end. Right wing pass up to Cunningham over the Thunder blue line. Passing it over to Saunier. Saunier with a shot and a goal to make it 3-0 off the blocker of Knox, with 1:19 left here in the first period.
Wow, what a play by Jillian Saunier, sneaking in the backside there, getting in the open area there and sniping that one past Knox. We've got a 3-0 lead for the Inferno, just over a minute to play in the first period, and the crowd couldn't be happier.
And it's a good-sized crowd that we've got going on here as well this morning.
And keep in mind, when you look at the empty seats, this rink holds 3,500 people, so you're going to have some empty seats.
For now.
For now. We want to change that.
As by the Calgary Old Time Hockey Association, scored by number 24, Haley Cudmore, assisted by number 14, Jenna Cunningham, and number 17, Bailey Bram. Time to the goal, 18:41 of the first period.
That, of course, was Saunier that scored that goal there. Obviously a confusion with 24 and 27. That's okay, it happens.
Yeah, we'll get the correction on that later. As we are back underway with under a minute left to play here in the first period. Yeah, we got still a glove pass going on.
And Brampton right now just hanging on, trying to get any type of momentum they can to go into this final minute of the period here. Face-off going back outside their blue line. Same thing happening to them that happened to the Inferno just a couple minutes ago.
As face-off won by Jenner, back to Pierre at center ice, over to Crom. Crom with a long shot in, dumped in to the close corner. As the Thunder now cleared up out of their zone. We got a penalty coming up here on an inadvertent trip there by, I believe it's Jenner that's going to be going to the penalty box as the Inferno find themselves on their first penalty kill of today's game.
And this shorthanded situation is brought to you by Sockbox.ca. Don't find yourself shorthanded again. Go to Sockbox.ca to sign up and even the odds.
So, man advantage for the Thunder, looking to capitalize here with 33.5 seconds left in the first period. Won by the Inferno in their end as Crom looks to clear it out just out of the reach of Burchard as it goes the length of the ice there. Hag in pursuit, Knox with a right wing pass up to Fortino just off the blue line boards. Fortino down the right wing, drops it there for Rattray. Rattray, trailing player, Burchard, shot as Hag was down on her knee to block that one. Burchard Styles with it now, back up to the point for Burchard. Shot through, Hag blocking that one, dumping it the length of the ice there as Knox holds it up behind, and that's going to do it for the first period of play here. Your score of that period is 3-0 in favor of the Calgary Inferno. Shots 14-11 also in favor of the Calgary Inferno.
That's correct, Marshall, and we will be right back after this short commercial break.
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held this stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over.
And we will have Erica Crom in interview with Jeremy Lee here momentarily. But Marshall, as you mentioned, the final score after that first period there, 3-0, shots 14-11 in favor of the Inferno. You gotta like what you saw from the Inferno, getting them the goals past Liz Knox here. But you had to like what you saw from Brampton too. They had some good chances, they had some good momentum swings, and a good chance that they could pour it on again. And as we saw yesterday, even a 4-0 lead isn't safe against this team.
Well, we joked somewhat, about the Inferno playing 45 to 50 minutes, and well, you know what, let's just hope that those 5 minutes at the beginning of the first period here are the 5 minutes that they didn't play.
All right, we got Jeremy standing by downstairs with Erica Crom. Take it away, Jeremy.
Thanks, guys. I'm now joined by Inferno defenseman Erica Crom. Great job. First goal of the season for you. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good. Everyone else is sniping around me. It's about time.
Can you take us through that goal? Just break it down for us here.
Sure. Campbell got the puck, drove the net hard as usual, and anytime any of our forwards drive the net, causes a lot of traffic in front of the net, makes it easy if the puck pops out. So I literally just shot it and it went in.
And it was a beautiful shot. And you guys have a 2-0 lead, after one period right now. And so, how would you assess the first?
I feel like it was pretty solid. We had to get our feet under us after the first few minutes, but put one in and then just got rolling from there. So hopefully we can stay consistent. We're trying to work on consistency throughout the periods. This is like one of our goals for this season. So hopefully we can achieve that today.
Perfect, and yeah, that hopefully we can avoid some the collapse from yesterday, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, right? But yeah, it's definitely something to work on. All teams have something to work on, so it's good for us. We'll just work through it.
Perfect. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Jeremy. That, of course, was Erica Crom, defenseman for the Calgary Inferno, getting her first goal, the second goal in this game. Thanks for unmuting yourself for that cough there, Marshall.
No, I was muting. I was muting Jeremy and forgot. I'm so used to muting me for the cough, and I forgot it. Yeah, the cough button. You know, we don't. It's right on the board here, so it is what it is. But we're making it happen.
One other recap here, just before we cut into some other stuff here. Face-offs in that period, 8 wins for the Inferno, 6 wins for Brampton, much more balanced than it was in the earlier stages of yesterday's game, so Brampton definitely improving on that mark. As you know, Marshall, of course, there's lots going on this weekend here. Wickfest is a big deal.
Yeah, and you can see a number of the players warming up behind us as well if you're tuned in live on CWHLlive.com with the video stream there. If you're simulcast listening to us on our audio-only stream, of course, you can't see that. That's why we try and describe as best as we can. But trust me, there's a lot of people, a lot of players warming up behind us there.
And one thing with Wickfest that everyone here pretty much knows about, but not a lot of people outside of this weekend here know. A young girl by the name of Grace Bowen recently passed away from cancer. One of the most courageous young girls that Haley Wickenheiser has known in her life, and has really done a lot this weekend, not just for her family, but for her memory as well, and a lot of the girls here playing with Grace. So we're going to take a look at some of the opening from Wickfest ceremony on Thursday, and just who Grace Bowen was, and why her memory needs to live on for this tournament.
Grace obviously couldn't be with us tonight, but she is always with us in spirit, I can tell you that. And just before she passed away, she had a chance to sing the national anthem at her hometown team of Cobourg, Ontario, at the game. And so I'd like you all to rise. We're going to sing O Canada. Grace is actually going to sing O Canada, and we'll hear her voice right now. and she never once complained. She never quit. She skated on a leg full of cancer for over a year before it was diagnosed. She was so tough. But there's lots of other kids and families that go through tough times as well. And so this year we wanted to honor Grace and the Bowen family and their spirit, and your spirit, through the Grace Glow and Courage Award, who we're going to give to one very, very special little girl who just less than a year ago lost her mom very suddenly and very tragically. And so to introduce and to honor the Bowens and our special recipient of our award, I'd like to present to you a friend of mine, a special guest. He wasn't able to be here in person, but he did this for us on location while he was shooting another movie, Mr. Ryan Reynolds. Let's watch the video.
Hi guys, welcome to WICFest 2015. I'm Ryan Reynolds. I wish I could be there with you tonight, but I can't, so I'm going to do this via technology. About a year ago, I met a young girl in Graceboro, and Grace was a girl that showed a kind of courage that I didn't realize even existed. I was at an event in which I met her, and after that event, I realized that the reason I'd gone to that event was, in fact, to meet Grace. I truly believe that. I'm thrilled to hear that Grace's family is there with you guys tonight. It's Greg, Andrea, and Mackenzie, 3 people that mean a great deal to my own family. So hi guys. Haley has created an award this year called the Grace Glow and Courage Award. I think that is a very apt name for an award based around courage, because nobody showed more courage than Grace. And the first recipient of the Grace Glow and Courage Award is a young lady named Sarah Brampton, who lost her mom this year, and in the face of that incredible loss, she has shown immense courage, and we are all extremely proud of her. So congratulations, Sarah.
Sarah's here with her dad Ben. Come on up, Ben. So we actually got but we wanted to give this to you and your family, and just to say, sorry, just to say how much we admire you, what you've been going through, all of you. And the one great thing about hockey is it brings people together. And this is a prime example of it. And so I want all of you kids to always remember that throughout your hockey career, it's not just more than a game. You have the opportunity to touch people's lives and to maybe make a difference and make a change for the better. And so Sarah, this is for you, from all of us, and from Grace. So congratulations. Okay, now one final thing before we kind of kick this party into high gear, because of course, I'm sure Sarah would want it. I know that Grace would want it. If Grace was here, there would be one thing that she'd be doing. What would she be doing if she was here, Mackenzie? Partying. She would be partying. She could sing, she could dance, and she'd be loud. And she'd be loud. She's a fireball. So her team is here tonight, the Northumberland Wild, courtesy of a very kind gentleman named Brian Reed, who made this all possible. And I know you guys have something that if Grace was here tonight, what would she say, guys? All right, so let's get this party started. Thank you very much, and have a great night.
Grace was a little girl that I met at the Canada's Walk of Fame last year, and she just sort of stole my heart, along with Ryan Reynolds and a host of others that she met along the way. And just really got to know her family. Spent lots of time seeing her when she was in the hospital and sick kids in Toronto. And unfortunately, she lost her battle with cancer about 8 months ago, and it just really threw us all for a loop. I just never expected that, and so I wanted to, for young kids to understand that, anything can happen in life. Grace was a shining example of courage and bravery, and she loved hockey above all.
So it's really exciting that we're going into our second year with this event. We're supporting the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and I've had 2 really close family members that have passed away from heart disease. My dad was actually on the ice when he had his first and his second heart attack. So I think they have an opportunity to really impact the hockey community and build some awareness about the risk of heart attacks while you're playing hockey, and especially in adult rec league and things like that. Well, I'm hoping we'll get even more fans there. I think the more people we can reach, the more successful this thing will be. So last year we had packed stands, and I'm hoping to repeat on that, and hoping to raise more money for the Heart and Stroke Foundation as well. Yeah, that was great. And when we were in Toronto, someone came up to us last week. It was fantastic. We will have an online donation venue available. I think it's already set up, and if you go to the website, to our website, the Calgary Inferno website, you should be able to get linked up with the Heart and Stroke Foundation there. Yeah, I think the primary goal here is definitely raising awareness. So hockey has some unique risks. It's a really high intensity sport, and for men and women that are getting up there and are just playing once a week, there's a really high risk for heart disease. So going to your doctor, getting your heart checked out, things like knowing where the AED is in a rink, having a cell phone on the bench so that you can call 911 faster, things like that. That's all we're trying to educate the community about. So next Saturday at 6:15 we'll be at Winsport, our home rink here, and we'll be playing the Toronto Furies.
The CWHL wish to express thanks to our sponsors, the Canada's Dairy Farmers, Scotiabank, Sportsnet, Winsport, Bauer, Tim Hortons, Toyota, Molson Coors, the Globe and Mail, Bridgeforce, Porter, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Montreal Canadiens, as well as team sponsors, the Calgary Old Time Hockey Players Association, Alberta Athletic Therapists Association, Deckel Doctors, and Sockbox.ca. Marshall, we're back at it here, ready to get underway for the second period here, just a minute away from puck drop. You look nice and relaxed.
I'm napping because the camera's on us. So, well, getting ready for some awesome second period action here. Of course, I spend most of the period on my feet, so taking this opportunity to sit back and just take in and see everything that's going on around us here.
Definitely not a bad decision there at all, as lots of excitement to keep you on your toes in this one here as the crowd filters back in. Definitely a nice big crowd, I'd say, as you mentioned when we were talking on the break there, bigger than yesterday. So lots of young fans taking in some CWHL action here as the 3-0 game for the Inferno moves on to the second period.
Yeah,
with Brampton on the power play.
And so for those of you tuning in on our audio-only stream at CWHLlive.com, we're going to be going left to right once again. Liz Knox between the pipes still to our left, and Delaney Bryan to our right there, as almost ready to go here. Official giving the signal that we're underway here. Stiles and Wickenheiser draw in, and Wickenheiser with the win on that one, picked up though by Burchard, as she breaks in down the left side there, dumping it around the back of the Inferno net. Rattray with it behind the net, off the back, loose puck down in front. Bryan sprawling, somehow keeping that one out, as Rattray thought that was in.
She had the hands up.
Had the hands up. Rattray with it. A half board is now up and just over the blue line. Burchard unable to keep it there as it's back in now down the right wing. Jones with it. Check that. Stiles over to Fortino. Fortino in the high slot. Over to Burchard. Burchard shot and a save by Bryan. A quick whistle by the official. Burchard not liking that one too much, as 36 seconds have gone in the second.
Wow, great chance by Brampton there, and as you mentioned, Rattray thought it was in, but definitely did not cross the line there. Bryan had the leg outstretched, the arm outstretched, had everything outstretched, trying to make sure that she kept that one off. But Calgary is going to draw another penalty here, so the Brampton Thunder are going to have 52 seconds of a 5-on-3 advantage here, as this shorthanded situation is brought to you by Sockbox.ca. Don't find yourself shorthanded again. Go to Sockbox.ca to sign up and even the odds. Wouldn't be surprised here if you see a timeout get called, as the officials are discussing some things, which is giving both the Brampton power play unit and the Calgary Inferno penalty killers a chance to breathe here, but I guess they are talking about the call. This is where you wish you had the mic'd up feature with some of the players, eh, Marshall?
Yeah, or the officials or anything like that, though. Okay, I was going to say, Mike, I am seeing 4 Inferno players out on the ice now, but Wickenheiser making her way back to the bench there. Crom trying to get out, but being called back by assistant coach Gina Kingsbury there, as we have the right number of personnel out on the ice now. 5 Thunder players to 3 Inferno players. Now, I'm wondering here as well, all of a sudden, if I don't recall, but if we had 5 skaters aside out to start the period.
No, the Inferno had 4.
Did they? Okay.
Because Takuchi lined up on the wing. I noticed that for sure.
I'm glad that you noticed that.
What I'm here for.
Yep. To keep
you in line.
To take all the facts properly. We're back underway here now. As Burchard with it now. Over to Fortino. Fortino fakes the shot over Burchard. One-time shot. Redirecting a pad save. As Burchard sprawling to keep it in at the blue line there. As Burchard at the face-off circle. Shot. And somehow Delaney Bryan sprawling to keep it 3-0.
I think we might have caught Rattray celebrating once again, and now she's just shaking her head in disbelief as Delaney Bryan going all the way to her right, diving across and getting enough of that one to get it underneath her, and doing so in a sneaky enough manner that Brampton players thought they might have got a goal.
And Vinton Wickenheiser to the right. Wickenheiser with the win, bouncing puck up and through the legs of Burchard as it's out to center ice there. Rattray with it now up on side, knocked off her stick by Wickenheiser. Rink wide over to Burchard for the Thunder, trying to get in. Oz, they've got 14 seconds left on this 5-on-3. Fortino with the shot, and that one cleared through the crease as Rattray with it up to Burchard. Burchard over to Fortino. Fortino with it back to Burchard. 5-on-4 as the Inferno have successfully killed off the penalty to Jenner that she picked up at the end of the first period. Still a minute left on the penalty kill for the Inferno as Rattray with the puck along the far half boards there. Steps looking to center that. A little too hot for Fortino, off the boards and out back to the Thunder blue line. Burchard there, Jenner in on the forecheck off the glass as that's up to number 8 Fortino. Over to Stiles. Stiles in off the right wing boards. It's behind the net off the side of the Inferno net. Richards there. Back up to McParland. McParland down low for Richards. Back to McParland at the face-off circle. Oh, LaRock shot, loose puck in front. Couldn't get the redirect as the Inferno clear that one up and just out of the reach of Sarah Edney. As the Thunder trying to capitalize on this man advantage. Loose puck at center ice there. Pieri lifting that in, knocked down by Edney. And steered to the corner by Knox. LaRock as Bram in on the forecheck there. Stiles with it. Stiles on the right wing trying to get something going here. Edney with it now on the right side. Into the stick, into the skates of Richards as Bram with it now. 3-on-1 here for the Inferno. As the shot wide by Takeuchi as we're back at 5 skaters aside. Up to McParland now over center ice. Drops it there for Stiles on the right wing. And a shot blocker save by Bryan down in front into the corner. Loose puck up front and kept away as Turnbull running up nicely into King. Campbell down the left wing. Campbell centering pass, shot, and a goal by Turnbull to make it 4-0 Calgary Inferno on a great shot, great pass by Jess Campbell.
Well, what a 30 seconds for Blair Turnbull there, as you mentioned. Getting stood up by King, basically running her over, blocking herself there, getting down there and finishing off with a goal there to make it 4-0. And a great 3.5 minutes there to start the second period here for the Inferno. Killing off a 1 minute long 5-on-3. Huge save by Delaney Bryan. And then you come down and you score right after it. Huge momentum for the Inferno right now.
Players Association. Scored by number 26, Blair Turnbull, assisted by number 20, Jessica Campbell. Time of the goal, 3 minutes, 11 seconds.
Yeah, it's exactly what we said. Turnbull from Campbell as we're back underway in the second period here. 4-0, 16:20 left in the second period as Wickenheiser down the left side. Whitaker knocking her into the boards. Loose puck as Cudmore with it on the right wing up over to Curio. Curio looking to put it on net. Pad save by Knox. Over to the right, up into the glass there as Lovell's in there battling with it. Along with Montgomery. McIntosh down low there as Whitaker off the back of her own net. Curio in on the forecheck. Jumps over King's stick and out As Aoki with it though, back over to the left wing pass to Takeuchi. Up center as Jenner loses an edge from her side, putting the pass on to Cunningham, who almost connected on that one as well. As circling it around the boards there. And the length of the ice there was Whitaker. We're going to get an icing call here with 15:39 in the second period.
And of course that goal brought to you by the Calgary Old Time Hockey Players Association, scored by number 26 Blair Turnbull, assisted by number 20 Jessica Campbell. Huge momentum swing for the Inferno as the Thunder were building some momentum here. We'll see if the Thunder have an answer again today like they did yesterday. Down 4-0, they got to do the same thing over and one more.
And face-off won by Bram, put on net and steered wide to the right with her stick by Knox. As behind the net there is Whitaker and Bram battling for it. Stiles coming in now. And we're going to get a whistle on this one as Bram was on top of that puck and no chance getting that one out there. 15:27. You know, interesting turn of events there, as you mentioned, with the 5-on-3 to start the period for the Thunder, and the Inferno successfully killing that off and then notching one shortly after it. Slight shift in that momentum.
Big shift, I'd say.
Well, they were already winning, so they had the momentum.
Brampton was coming on. Shut them down like that. It's a big momentum play when you kill that off. And I'm going to get a high stick there. I'll fill in for you there for that one since we were talking through the play. But no, Calgary now has the opportunity to redeem themselves for letting Brampton in the game yesterday. Brampton has the chance. They said they got to be saying, hey, we did it yesterday. We started a little bit earlier. We'll have time to even it up and get ahead.
So this face-off coming just outside the Calgary zone is Vint winning that one. But the Inferno grabbing the puck. Bram with a left wing pass just out of the reach of Esposito. As Knox steering that one wide. Saunier was in there. Crom using her offensive senses and in down low behind the icing line, but knocked off her stick as Rattray with it down the right wing. Rattray holding on to the puck down below the Inferno icing line behind the back of the net. Centering pass out front, loose puck swept away by Saunier as Esposito with it now. Esposito pass up the left wing to Saunier in over the Thunder blue line and just putting it towards the net as it's knocked behind and up to center ice as Cudmore with it for the Inferno now. Pass down the right wing as Turnbull over to Wickenheiser, shot from the slot, and that didn't make it all the way through on net as Campbell standing up Jones in the corner. Battling over there is Richards and Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser with the puck up in the high slot. Webster with the shot down low. Pad save. And Campbell looking for the rebound. Knox covering that one up as if drawing a whistle quickly from the official.
Yeah, and Blair Turnbull right in the thick of things again there. Getting dumped over Liz Knox by the Brampton defender trying to clear out the crease area there. As if you're a young player watching at home, good to clear out the crease, but watch that you don't push him over your own goaltender. You might end up hurting them more than the player would have been there anyways.
And Wickenheiser in the face-off circle with the win over Richards. As Larocque with it for the Thunder, though, dropping it back. Turnbull in there, breaking that one up. Richards with that right wing pass up to McParland. Rink wide over for Edney. Loose puck. Edney breaking in down the left wing there. Pass over to McParland. McParland pass. A pad save by Bryan, just enough to break it up. And the Thunder unable to capitalize on another opportunity as Cudmore with it for the Inferno. Turnbull along the half boards there, trying to get it up and out. Can't do so. Edney at the blue line on the far left side. Cudmore with it now. Behind her own icing line. Jumps over Turnbull's stick. Back to Edney on the left point. Coming down in front. Thunder applying some pressure with 13:20 left in the second. Still 4-0 Inferno. Campbell with it now. Up to Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser at center ice. Loose puck bounces over to Campbell down the left wing. Montgomery trying to knock her off the game. And Montgomery picks it up now as she skates out of the Thunder zone with it. And dumping it into the Inferno end. Aoki with it back behind her own icing line. Circling that around to our close side right here at the Markin McPhail Center at Winsport level. At center ice, Jenner picks it up through her skates down the left side. Centering pass broken up by Montgomery. As Montgomery off the glass, up and out as Levels there with it passed back to Aoki. Right in front of her net there in her own end. As that's up to Esposito. Esposito over center ice. Down the left side of the sprawling Jenner, staying in onside. Shot from Esposito high up into the glass. Knocked down there. Fortino with it. Drops it back to Bouchard. Bouchard behind the net. Up to King. And lifting that into the glass. As it's down the right wing, Jess Jones trying to make something happen. Takeuchi picking that loose puck up. Stopping behind her own icing line now. Pass in front over to Lovell. Lovell up just out of the reach of Saunier. Icing waved off on that one. Knox plays it behind her net there for Rattray. Rattray up to Jones there down the right wing. Here comes Stiles. Stiles, the trailing Fortino, and that one's blocked by the Inferno's Saunier up into the netting for a stoppage of play with 11:54.
Well, Saunier was third star yesterday's game. She's having another stellar game today, playing quite well. As your favorite song comes on when we're playing these teams.
You know, we gotta look at what they're playing here. Thunderstruck, you know, the Thunder are playing. You know, you gotta wonder if
maybe not the best song choice, John.
It might not be the best song choice for the Thunder when they're here. As Bram and Vint drawing in to the left of Bryan, won by Bram, and Cudmore behind her own net now. Right wing pass. That one's broken up. And by the Thunder as it's dumped in now. Vint down the right wing. Webster all over her. Trying to prevent her from getting anything going. McParland, Vint and Webster in the corner. Up to Whitaker. Whitaker shot from the point off the body of Haig. Bram with it now. Right wing pass up for Saunier. Saunier down the right wing. Saunier pass over to Haig. Haig makes a move. Sprawling Knox just losing the handle was Haig as it's loose in the corner there. And Saunier taken down hard. Loose puck at neutral ice here. Saunier skating off under a little bit of labored effort there. Takeuchi with it. Skates in now onside down the left wing. Takeuchi in deep down behind the Brampton net. Centering pass up high and just over the stick of Aoki as Cunningham with it now trying to clear it in. That was broken up by McIntosh, but Cunningham goes for it to follow it in. Down the left half towards Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser close. Battling with Cadillon. Wickenheiser right wing over Aoki. Shot low. Pad save. Loose puck out in the slot. Takeuchi down to Wickenheiser. Shot. There's a goal. Haley Wickenheiser. I think we might have had a redirect in down low, but we're going to make it 5-0. Calgary Inferno with 10:33 in the second.
I don't think it was off an Inferno player that redirect happened. I do believe that is going to be a goal for number 22, Haley Wickenheiser, as the crowd certainly thinks it is. As that one ripping over the glove side of Liz Knox. Very little chance she had on that one. That one was a rocket by Haley Wickenheiser. And regardless of if it directed or not, that is 5-0 for the Calgary Inferno, and that is going to be the end of Liz Knox's night as Erica Howe coming out to relieve her. I don't think you can really fault Liz Knox for a lot of those goals. This might be at the point just a chance to try and change the momentum here, see if you can get your spark for your team. And I go back to that 5-on-3 penalty kill for the Inferno with that save that Delaney Bryan had on 2 occasions on that power play. First on the 5-on-4, then on the 5-on-3, where Brampton thought they had scored twice, but she stopped it. And that has led to a huge boost in momentum for the Inferno as they've come down and scored 2 goals here. And the only problem with this little goaltending change and this break in the action for the Thunder is just means the goal song gets to play a little bit longer and keep these fans and Inferno players fired up. But this break in the action is brought to you by the Alberta Athletic Therapists Association, taking time out to keep you in the game.
Well, shots this period looking at 6 apiece, but the ones that matter are those goals. Of course, 5-0 here. As now I wish we had the officials mic'd up so that we could hear what it is that they're actually discussing. Trying to figure out no goal, waved off.
Well, have you ever seen this before where you change the goaltender for a goal getting scored that is then waved off? And I'm not sure what the decision was. I'm guessing they must be calling it a high stick, saying that it was an Inferno player that deflected the puck in front there. But we are going back to 4-0 for the Inferno. And Erica Howe will stay in the game as she was waved on, as Liz Knox has already headed out down the dressing room, I think. But interesting turn of events there for sure, as the quick pull by the Brampton coach and swap of the goalies, and the goal wasn't even allowed.
Well, I was wondering if it was redirected. Like it was definitely redirected. I think it was on a high stick, and I was wondering about that or not.
Now we really do wish we had the replay server up there, Logan. Just to get a second look.
Technical challenges today.
There's no instant replay or replay challenges, coach's challenge, or anything like that. It is the official's call. The official's judgment was that must have been a high stick is what we're getting, and it is face-off outside the zone.
So face-off outside the zone, won by the Inferno as they're looking to get goal number 5 back on the board. And they lose the shot on that one as well, so they're back to 19 shots for the game. As Turnbull with it behind her own net here with 10:10 left in the second period. Calling on the goaltender change, that's all they're mentioning. As you mentioned, Jeff Howe is back, or in the game now, as she was in yesterday. And action just outside the Thunder zone there, as Jenner sprawling for that one. Campbell with it behind the Thunder net out front, and just deflected out as it goes down. Webster now down her own end there. Loose puck off Cudmore's stick. Campbell with it now just outside of her own blue line, off Jenner's stick in. And Howe is going to cover up for a stoppage of play here with 9:28 left.
Well, perhaps one of the things that goaltending change did for the Thunder was it gave the officials more time to discuss that and make that call to waive that call off. I didn't notice them discussing it before that change, but obviously they were during that change when it happened.
So this faceoff coming to the right of Erica Howe, won by the Inferno. Takeuchi right along the line over to Aoki. Shot doesn't make it through. Aoki with it from the top right point there, pushing it in down into the corner. Bram in there. Bram with Fortino. Bram with it along the half boards up at the blue line. Shot down low. Takeuchi was cheating in, looking for that open side of the net, but it hopped over her stick. Bram with it into Esposito. Bram centering pass out front. That one broken up by Fortino. Fortino now up to Jones as Rattray. Jones with it now coming in. Now we got a penalty coming up here against the Brampton Thunder, I believe. And we're going to get a power play opportunity for the Calgary Inferno with 8:54 left in the second period.
And this power play is brought to you by Deckle Doctors. Go to DeckleDoctors.com to give you the advantage over your competition. We'll say as well, thank you to Deckle Doctors for the brand new dressing room design. We'll give you a look at that during the second intermission.
Nice. Yeah, it does look really good in there. This face-off's going to come to the left of Howe as Bram and Vint in the face-off circle, won by Vint. But Bram picks it up now, back up to the point for Wickenheiser. Bram to Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser with it now on the Winsport logo. And Winsport, of course, a proud sponsor of both the CWHL as well as Wickfest. And Bram with it, circling the Inferno, trying to set something up here. Wickenheiser with it back in the high slot. Knocked off her stick as Richards manages to knock that out in the Inferno retreat. Back to center ice. Wickenheiser with it now coming in. A left wing pass over to Lovell. Lovell tried to put it out center there, and Vint clearing that the length of the ice. Bryan way out in the far corner. Wickenheiser with it now. Circles back behind her own net. And Wickenheiser to the left of her net. Left wing pass up for Saunier. Saunier over center ice. Into the Thunder zone, putting it behind the back. Thunder net there is Jenner with it. Jenner and Larocque battling in the corner there. Up to the point for Cudmore. And we got a penalty coming up here, I believe.
For the Inferno. They had the puck. It's got to be the Inferno, right?
Got to be. Well, unless it was Blade call, but you know, I'm just gonna say
it's Blair Turnbull because she's the one being escorted off there. So we will say that this upcoming shorthanded opportunity, which won't happen for another 51 seconds, will be brought to you by Sockbox.ca. Don't find yourself shorthanded again. Go to Sockbox.ca to sign up and even the odds.
So a little 4-on-4 action for 51 seconds here.
If the Inferno will put 4 players on the ice, yes.
Yeah, they were kind of screaming for a couple extra more there, yeah.
There we go, now we're good.
Yes.
4-4.
So Bram and Stiles to the right of Brian, won by Stiles up to Burchard. Burchard up high, slot for Fortino, back to Burchard on the left point, keeping it in along the blue line. Fortino shot, and Webster off her shoulder, almost redirecting in. Brian sprawling and covering that one up, but Jones was in there forcing that one off, but the official had already called that.
Yeah, that
good
deflection
call.
off Webster almost turned costly for the Inferno, as Delaney Bryan had to be sharp with the redirect and slide over to keep that one out and keep the score 4-0 for the Inferno.
And face-off coming glove side of Bryan. Bram and Stiles again in the face-off circle, won by Stiles. Back to the point, Burchard over to the slot. Or Fortino, back to Burchard, back to Fortino. Fortino down low, one-time shot, Burchard, shot off the post! 4-0 still the score, Inferno, as that one is the closest that the Thunder have come to solving Delaney Bryan today. As Fortino back in her own end, Webster in on the pursuit, on the forecheck as we got 10 seconds left of 4-on-4 action. Jones with it at her own blue line, over to Burchard. Burchard back to Jones, Jones down the right wing here. Over to Burchard, pass just behind Stiles, who could have had something there. So we got a minute power play opportunity for the Thunder as the Inferno into the Thunder end. Bram puts it out front, loose puck in front. Campbell gets the shot, and Howe with the pad save. She was on her butt, couldn't quite get the rebound. There was Campbell as it's back to Burchard with it now. Pieri battling with it. And Pieri lifts that up to center ice. Here comes Campbell. Campbell in on a break, bringing it in onside, taken down. As Fortino with it now. Left wing pass up for Rattray. And Rattray in. Broken up. Jenner clears that up. Saunier here. Saunier coming in on a breakaway over the blue line. Stepping in a forehand. Pauses. Save. Pad save by Howe. How did she keep that one out? As it's back at neutral ice here. Jenner with the puck now. Jenner back to Takeuchi. Over to Aoki. Aoki on the right side in her own end. Clearing that the length of the ice with 10 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Inferno. A couple of great shorthanded chances as the Thunder standing behind their own net. Jenner in on the forecheck. Coming up the left wing. Here comes Edney. Edney bringing it in onside. Over to McIntosh, and we're back at 5 skaters aside. As Larocque with the shot, loose puck, redirect by Richards wide. And Richards down low. And back up to the point. Larocque on the right side. Power shot wide to the left of Delaney Bryan. Edney circling back around the boards there. Richards. Richards, Takeuchi knocking off her stick. Aoki with it now. Aoki in the far right corner. Takeuchi behind her own net now, up the left wing to Turnbull. Turnbull stops. A rink-wide pass up for Jenner. Jenner on the stretch over to Wickenheiser, just bouncing. Howe with another stand-up save there to keep it 4-0 Calgary Inferno. 5:06 left in the second.
CWHL wish to express thanks to our sponsors, the Canada's Dairy Farmers, Scotiabank, Sportsnet, Winsport, Bauer, Tim Hortons, Toyota, Molson Coors, the Globe and Mail, Bridgeforce, Porter, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Montreal Canadiens.
And the faceoff won by the Thunder. Burchard with it now. Up off the left boards. Cudmore at center ice, holding that and dumping it in around Howe to stop behind her own net. As the Thunder looking to clear. Webster at center ice. Knocking that one up to Bram. Whitaker with it up to King. King stretching out to keep that one. Oh, and just called just offside there as the linesman calling Whitaker offside. So this one's going to come with 4:43 left in the second, just outside the Inferno end.
Well, that disallowed goal has given Brampton some life. They've showed some good chances there. Good goaltending by Erica Howe. Nice saves on those last series.
And face-off won by the Inferno over to Webster on the left side. Webster looking for Bram. Bram and Montgomery going at each other, but getting to the puck there first was Bram. Haig in there now in the close left corner. Left to right action here, the Markin McPhail Center. Just as you're seeing on our live video stream at CWHLlive.com. Esposito now at the face-off circle, makes a move, just losing control, and Webster unable to reach to keep that in. Webster right wing pass over to Cudmore. Cudmore lifting that up. as Bram going off on a line change. Now King with it on the right wing. Left wing pass over for Stiles. And Cudmore gets there first as it was out of King's reach, Stiles' reach. And Jenner with it now. Jenner, neutral ice. Losing control. Rattray knocking that in as Cudmore and Rattray. Cudmore taking the heat on that one. As it's behind the Inferno net now. Stiles trying to get something going. This puck down on the right side. Jenner. Fortino picks that one up. Fortino at the right point, skates to the high slot, puts it low along the ice towards the net. Jenner breaking that one up now. 3-on-2 as the Inferno coming up. Down the right wing is Jenner. Jenner coming in around the Thunder net. Jenner still with the puck. Up to Crom at the point. Crom with the shot through. Jenner with the redirect. Couldn't do it. Takes the shot off of Fortino and up into the netting for a stoppage with 3:15 in the second to go.
And we're going to have an Inferno power play here as Brampton player called for a cross-check in front of the net there just as that puck went over the glass there. So this power play is brought to you by Deckel Doctors. Go to deckeldoctors.com to give you the advantage over your competition.
Yeah, it's face-off coming to the left of Erica Howe as Bram and Vint in the face-off circle. And won by Bram back to the point there. Wickenheiser stretching to keep it in at the point. Wickenheiser over the left point for Cunningham. Cunningham down to level back up to Cunningham. Up to Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser, long shot, glove save by Howe. You know she's seen that one in some practices before.
Well, I don't know if they've seen it in practices, but definitely saw almost a replay of that shot that Wickenheiser had disallowed with the high stick earlier.
Thanks for correcting me on that one. That one.
They kind of play on different teams.
I'd be fine with getting some more coffee if somebody here was listening, and we need a runner. Bram with the shot, redirect by Lovell just wide of the net. There's a minute 30 left on the Inferno power play. Puck action behind the Thunder net there as Campbell reaching for the bouncing puck, keeping it in, but unable to do so as Vint was right behind her. And Wickenheiser losing an edge. In comes Richards as Cunningham got in the way there. Richards with it down low in the right. All four Inferno players along the right side. Rink wide over to Campbell. Campbell down the right wing. Edney knocking her off that one. Right in front of the Inferno bench is King down the left wing. King puts it on net. Pad save by Bryan. Into the corner, Montgomery with it. King with it. King in the far right corner. Battling down there. Wickenheiser with it, trying to get to it first. Montgomery grabbing it, stopping, spinning. Esposito with it now for the Inferno on the right side. Brampton aggressive on the forecheck, trying to get something going on a penalty kill for them. Short-handed goal would no doubt put some life back into the Thunder. As Turnbull with it now for the Inferno. 25 seconds left in the Inferno power play. She skates up the left side, past her own net, up to Saunier, over center ice. Down into the Thunder zone, cutting towards the net on the backhand, trying to center it through. Fortino was blocking that one, couldn't make it through. Esposito skates now as Jenner with it. Up at the left point for Cudmore. Cudmore rink wide over to Saunier, up to Jenner. And we're back at 5 aside. Cudmore shot low, pad save by Howe. And that one's loose as Cudmore in a foot race with Richards. Richards getting there first. Can't get anything going though. Check that. That was Simmons. And we've got our last minute of play here in the second period. As it's loose at neutral ice. Fortino with it now. Passing that one up to McIntosh. McIntosh following the puck. Rattray with it behind the icing line, and Cudmore battling down low behind the Inferno net. Now we got a call coming up here as we got 39.5 seconds left.
That's going to be Cudmore going off for roughing, I do believe. And I think it's going to be both players going off, as Rattray is as well. We'll see if this is going to be a 4-on-4 situation or coincidental and still stay 5-on-5 here.
We got 39.5 seconds here. You can see emotions are definitely starting to come to the surface here as the Inferno trying to hang on to that lead.
Looks like it'll be coincidental 5-on-5 here.
So this face-off coming in the Inferno end to the glove side of Brian. And Bram winning that one. Thunder back with it. Larocque trying to get it through off Styles' leg though. Harmlessly into the corner. As Campbell with the puck now on the left wing. Skates through neutral ice. Right wing pass over for Wickenheiser. Down the right wing. Toe drag through to the front of the net. But that one was knocked off her stick up and over. Wickenheiser at the face-off circle. Trying to get that pass through to Campbell. Broken up by Jones. Jones with it now for the Thunder. Down the left wing. As Takeuchi with it. Takeuchi up to Wickenheiser at the close right point. Edney with it at center ice. Long, low shot. Pad save, stick. Paddle save by Brian. That's going to do it for the second period here as the score is 4-0 in favor of the Calgary Inferno.
Well, a very good second period by the Inferno. They managed to avoid giving up that late goal that Brampton got yesterday, so they're sitting ahead of the game where they were yesterday, 4-0 up on the Brampton Thunder. We're going to have an interview with a Brampton Thunder player shortly here, but we'll be right back from a short commercial break.
Hey! 100% drive. Hey! 100% passion. 100% effort. But women in sports get only 5% of the attention. Canada's dairy farmers believe women in sports should be seen and heard loud and clear. With Fueling Women's Champions, we're shining a light on women athletes at every level. Join us. #champion.
Kimmy, you do know that there's only 4 seasons, right?
Then how do you explain the way kids wish away the summer because we can't wait to play in the fall? Or how teammates often become best mates? Or how families happily vacation in Winnipeg in January because that's where the tournament is? So you see, Miss Woods, there is a 5th season, and it's the best season in Canada.
So you're talking about hockey?
Oh, it's more than just hockey, Miss Woods.
Scotiabank is proud to support over 5,000 teams in Canada's 5th season.
100% énergie. 100% passion. 100% effort. Pourtant, les femmes n'ont que 5% de visibilité. Les producteurs laitiers canadiens croient que les athlètes féminines devraient être vues et entendues haut et fort. Avec Nourrir la passion du sport féminin, nous célébrons les athlètes féminines de tous les niveaux. Joignez-nous à Vive le sport féminin.
And we're still just standing by here. We'll have that interview right away. They're just getting set up down there. And we are ready down there with Jeremy? Oh, you want us sitting? Okay, you want us sitting so you can see us there. All right. You know,
I can stand because I'm far enough back.
Oh, you can there. They're almost ready downstairs. We're going to have Brampton captain Jocelyn Larocque standing by with Jeremy. Jeremy, take it away.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm now standing with Thunder defenseman Jocelyn Larocque. Jocelyn, how would you assess the first 2 periods so far?
I mean, you know what? We did a lot of good things. I think it's one of those things that when you make mistakes against a good team, they're going to capitalize. And, we made 4 big mistakes, but we're still in it. The shots are close, and we have a lot of energy. And, we can still come back. We still have faith.
You've been in this position before, down 4-0 yesterday in last night's game. What are you going to have to do to get back in this game?
Just create more offensive opportunities. I think take more risks, get shots on net, screen, and just play hard and just play our game.
Perfect. And that does it for us here. We'll send it back to Jeff.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Jocelyn, for joining us there. Marshall, there is a lot that's been going on this weekend. We talked about before. We mentioned in the period there, we have a new dressing room, a new decorated dressing room, thanks to one of our sponsors, Deckel Doctors, and of course I was part of this where we kind of snuck in there at night and did this without the girls knowing that we're coming. So we're going to take a look at a little time-lapse, little video, and see what the girls' reactions were from this. The behind the scenes of our new dressing room. Thank you, Deckel Doctors.
We're here with the head coach Scott Reed and Kelly Dobler of our sponsor Deckel Doctors. We're snuck into the dressing room here at night. We're getting ready to do some renovation work here and surprise the girls with a decorated dressing room for tomorrow morning's game. Dennis, you came in, you got see the new locker room. What do you think?
Well, I think it's awesome. I think the additions are great, and I think it just adds to the dressing room, makes this place feel a little bit more at home.
What does it mean to have a sponsor like Deckel Doctors to do that for you?
Oh, it's amazing. I think anytime we get a sponsor on board that is willing to support us and add to our dressing room like this, it's always a good thing, and we definitely appreciate it.
Excellent. Thanks. So Jack, you got to see the surprise this morning, ready for your game. What do you think?
It looks amazing. What a nice surprise coming in. It looks like a real professional locker room. It's really exciting. Thank you guys so much for helping us out with the locker room. Yeah.
Excellent. That's good. Saw the surprise for you in the dressing room today. What did you think?
I've actually only seen it through Snapchat videos, so I'm pretty excited to get in there and see it in person. It was very surprising, but very nice.
And what does it mean to have a sponsor like Deckel Doctors that'll do that for you?
Definitely appreciate it. It makes us look that much more professional, so it's really good.
Looking forward to getting your helmet then?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent, thanks. See it already?
No, I just saw it. Good job.
So thank you once again there, Deckel Doctors, for that awesome work. There's still a few more decals to go up that need to be printed and go up. That'll go up this week, and we'll have some finalized shots of that locker room once that's all done, and of course when the girls clean it up a little bit too.
Well, it's a good thing it's not smell-o-vision.
It is. It was a long 4 hours in there, stuck up on top of the lockers, trying to work a heat gun, trying not to burn myself, as I did a couple times there. But hey, little prices to pay. But no, it is a lot of the girls, as I mentioned there. It does just add another level of professionalism to this league that is doing everything it can to give girls a place to play in that professional environment, doing an excellent job of it. So thank you very much to our sponsor, Deckel Doctor, for that. And thank you very much to Winsport as well for providing that dressing room and allowing us to do that in there for them as well too. So what more can you say about that? But thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
That will work. Now, we saw a video on the first period, first intermission there about Grace Bowen and Play for Grace, and now we're going to take a look at what just all WickFest is and why it's so important for so many young female players, and of course Haley Wickenheiser as well, who wants to give back to the game.
So we're in our 6th year now of WickFest, and we started in Vancouver off the heels of the 2010 Olympics and moved it to Calgary. We've got 100 teams, 2,000 players from around the world. We've got teams from Czech Republic, Mexico, none of it, across Canada, US, and it's turned into quite the big festival.
Is my team the Calgary Inferno? You guys just back up a bit here. So we're going to bring out, this is my team. Come on out, Sarah. Sarah's our honorary captain. Here's the, come on out here. Let's give these guys a big cheer. This is my team that I play on, the Calgary Inferno. Come on out, girls. All the way over here, Sarah. You guys can come up on the stage too, so they can see your jerseys. All right. So our team, the Inferno, it's a good fitting name because the Calgary Flames, the Calgary Inferno. We play in the Canadian Women's Hockey League. So far our record is 7-1. Hopefully it'll continue. And we have a pretty good team this year. I would like to tell you all that on Saturday night at 5:15 and on Sunday morning at 10:30, we will be playing right here. I will be playing as well. We will be playing the Brampton Thunder in 2 games. So if you guys aren't playing, you're not involved in sessions, I would love to see you out cheering on, of course, the Inferno. Even if you're from Ontario, you have to cheer for the Inferno. And come watch some of the best female hockey players in the world play. So I just want to bring these guys out today. Right now, they're going to go practice on Rink B from 7 to 8:30 after the party's over at 8 o'clock. Jason's going to usher you guys to all go across and maybe watch the end of the practice, get some tips and skills from all these guys out there. So let's give a big round for the Calgary Inferno.
Well, I think, for me, I wanted to do something to give back to the game and just, I guess, be able to help grow the women's game, leave a legacy for the younger girls coming up, so that they might have a chance to have better access to things than we had when we were starting. So I think that's part of the motivation, and it's really grown into a massive event where it's not just a hockey tournament, it's a festival. They get ice sessions, they get off-ice sessions that they sign up for, and there's all sorts of things going on. Just take it all in. It's an experience. There's lots of hockey tournaments that you're going to play in, but you might not play in one quite like this. And make sure you go to all the different events. And there's so many important key speakers and people here. And just take advantage of it all, meet people, and enjoy it.
The CWHL wish to express thanks to our sponsors, the Canada's Dairy Farmers, Scotiabank, Sportsnet, Winsport, Bauer, Tim Hortons, Toyota Molson Coors, the Globe and Mail, Bridgeforce, Porter, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Montreal Canadiens. And the Inferno would like to thank team sponsors, the Alberta Athletic Therapists Association, Calgary Old Time Hockey Players Association, Deckel Doctors, and Sockbox.ca. Marshall, we've got just under 4 minutes until this third and potential final period. Even though it's 4-0, I will only say potential because we saw the potential that the Brampton Thunder had to come back yesterday, scoring 1 late in the second and 2 in the third, and had their opportunities for sure to make it a tie game there. Well, turn your mic on first.
I'm potentially counting the potential number of times that you can potentially say potential within one potential intermission.
All right, now.
Right meow.
Right meow potential.
Yes. Yeah, definitely, the Inferno were in a very similar position yesterday. We saw the Thunder really pour that on as well.
Yeah, sorry, I just had some weird things popping up on the computer there. I wasn't too sure about there. Thought we might have lost something there, so just checking with our
awesome production crew
there, and Logan doing his amazing stuff there to make sure we have everything to work properly.
Yeah, there's the 3-minute buzzer, bzz, bzz, bzz,
and while we wait for the teams to come out on the ice, I do want to mention that we do have some games coming up next weekend. One, of course, being that Keep the Beat game on December the 5th against the Toronto Furies. And if I can find to put it up here, I'll put it up there. But that
one's at 6:15 p.m.
6:15 p.m. That one coming here in Rink C at Winsport on that one. And then we will be out to Olds doing a game with the Olds College Broncos to promote their women's hockey team, and having that one out in 12:30 p.m. in Olds at the Old Sportsplex. And that one will be broadcast live to you on CWHL Live streaming video. Of course, the Saturday, December 5th game and the Sunday, December 6th game will both be available on CWHL Live/audio. Listen.
CWHLlive.com/Inferno.
Inferno, okay.
Yeah,
Inferno, that's
yes.
easier.
Yes, we give you audio for all Inferno home games. Video is at least one game a weekend that we're happy to provide. Of course, Dairy Farmers of Canada, a large part in the sponsorship around that, as the Inferno are back out on the ice here with a minute and a half before the end of intermission, and no changes on their net as well. We saw that one goalie change in the second period there as Knox was hooked out and Howe came in. Howe skating back into the Thunder net there as well. So,
absolutely, and a good game for sure by the Inferno forwards. Lots of goal scoring going around, but a couple of defensemen getting credited for goals right now. Of course, we know that one from 24 on Cudmore will actually go to Jillian Saunier, which would be her second of the game, and Campbell having one and Crom adding another as well. That's all around.
Saunier only got one goal.
Saunier got one. Well, something's off here. Cudmore didn't score though, did she? Because that was actually...
That was the one that we're 99% sure was Saunier.
Well, who are the other goal scorers? You got it written down.
So first one, Jess Campbell got on the board, followed up by Erica Crom, and then it was Saunier, and then Turnbull on that fourth one that we're looking at.
That's the one we're missing there.
That's the one you're thinking is the other one. So
thank you.
For
once you bailed me out.
Every now and then I like to make you look good.
You
need all the help you can get.
Well, that is fair enough as we get set here for the third period. Going back out with 4-on-4 hockey here, as it looks like there were 5-minute majors given to both.
We're 5-on-5.
5-on-5 it should be, but we got 4 players on the ice for both team here, so we're switching up to 4-on-4, I guess, here, as they got 5-minute majors both to Cudmore and Rattray there. So despite the fact we played 5-on-5 for the first bit of this, we're going 4-on-4 for this second half of this. So interesting.
I'm not even going to ask. As the Inferno win the face-off here, Pierre with it back in her own end. And Saunier trying to clear that out as Stiles trying to put it on net. Pierre with it in front of her own net now, trying to get it up and out to Saunier. Knocked off her stick as Ennie got that in. Loose puck down in front. Stiles looking for redirect. Centered out front. Loose puck. Jenner trying to get there. Jones keeping that in. Down low to Stiles on the backhand. Bryan standing tall. Well, crouching low, I guess, before managing to take that one to keep it scoreless.
And a little bit of extracurricular activity between Pierre and Jones there. Nothing will come of it as Pierre bumping Jones out from in front of the net there, doing it in such a way that she didn't topple over her goaltender. So that's the correct way to protect your goaltender if you're watching at home.
So this face-off coming blocker side of Delaney Bryan, as Vint winning that one aggressively as it goes all the way across the ice and out. And Burchard with it now in her own end. Up to Vint at center ice, picked up by Bram. Bram retreating back in her own end, trying to get it across. Vint breaking that pass up to Turnbull, circling back around for it. As Turnbull with it now down the right wing. Turnbull dumping it into the corner. And around to Howe. Shot right through the blue paint there by Campbell as it circles around and out back as Crom with it now for the Inferno, lifting it up to center ice for Turnbull. And Fortino with it now for the Thunder. Up to center ice for Stiles, just connecting with that just enough so there's no icing on that. Takeuchi behind the net. Over to Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser on the right wing up to Saunier. Saunier down the right wing over the blue line. Makes a nifty move.
Nifty.
Yeah, I had to pull your nifty on that one as it was. That pass broken up though is Edney. And Stiles breaking in. Slight 2-on-1 here. Edney holds the puck. Pad save. Rebound given up. Jones and Bryan with the blocker save, keeping that one out. 4-0 still, 18-18 in the third period here. Jenner with it over to Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser at center ice. Wickenheiser down the left wing there. Rink wide pass over to Jenner on her offhand. Unable to connect on that one. The official losing an edge there. Larocque getting that one up to McIntosh. Down the left wing, 2-on-1 here. McIntosh, Edney, just Aoki. Pass over. There was Edney making it past Delaney Bryan to make it 4-1 for the Calgary Inferno still, but Edney with a great heads-up play there. She was going down on that shot with all the power.
Here come the Brampton Thunder. We saw this yesterday. They're never out of a game until the final buzzer sounds. You got to be careful with it, and they capitalize on this 4-on-4 action there. And a nice cross-ice pass, Edney with the one-timer. Really no chance on Delaney Bryan there, having to play both the shooter and the pass in that one for her to come across with that. So, as you mentioned, 4-1 now, and Brampton has some life again, and we'll see what they do with it.
And back underway here as the Thunder with it now. 1:05 left on those offsetting majors. As Fortino with it, knocking it around the back. Fortino sticking with the puck, following it. As it's number 17, McIntosh. Keeping that in. Here comes Vint. Drops it back, McIntosh. Centering pass. And that's high over the net. As Fortino for the Thunder trying to get it. Bram in the corner there. And we're going to get a stoppage of play here as it was underneath Fortino. She was sitting on that one with 17-17 in the third.
Well, lots of open ice there with this 4-on-4 to start the third period here. As you got the Olympic ice and then one less player aside. Had some good chances there, and Brampton being able to capitalize right now.
And so this face-off is going to come in the Inferno and 17-17 on the clock. Stiles and Wickenheiser. Won by Wickenheiser as Webster with it. Circles it back behind her net. And up to Wickenheiser now as she skates out over center ice into the Thunder zone there. Cuts towards the left, holds up. And fakes the shot. On the backhand is Stiles. All over Wickenheiser, over to Webster. Webster into the boards there is Lovell with it. Lovell trying to put it in with a pass. Larocque sprawling for it, managing to carry the momentum out as it was under her body. Wickenheiser dropping it back for Esposito. Esposito through the legs of Simmons. Shot. And a redirect save, deflection wide there, and we're back as both penalized skaters are out on the ice. 5-on-5 now as a shot coming from number 19 Simmons, and Bryan hanging on to that one. 16:33 remaining in the third period. 4-1's the score.
And 27-23 are your shots. Oh, chime that in there.
Yeah, so 1 shot this period for the Inferno to 4 for the Thunder.
Thunder definitely capitalized on that 4-on-4.
Yes. As almost another goal there as it was just out of the reach of Burchard on the angle to notch the second mark of the game for the Thunder. And a one-time shot by McParland and a blocker save up over the net by Bryan as it's back out at center ice now. And over to McParland, dumping it in and around the boards there as Bryan stops it behind her net. Into the corner there is Crom battling with it, gets it out of the Inferno end. As a rolling puck coming down and Fortino back to grab it there off the boards. Richards gets there. And we're going to get a stoppage of play here as Fortino looks as though she's a little feeling a bit of the pain there on that one. We got 15:50 left though in the third period here. That 4-1 off that 4-on-4 action. We'll try and get some clarification on that one afterwards. I'm curious to know on the offsetting majors why we went 5-on-5 and then we went 4-on-4, but
the CWHL wish to express thanks to our sponsors, the Canada's Dairy Farmers, Scotiabank, Sportsnet, Winsport, Bauer, Tim Hortons, Toyota, Molson Coors, the Globe and Mail, Bridgeforce, Porter, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, not sure what the happenings was for that. They probably realized it should have been 4-on-4 and just corrected it. That's my guess.
Face-off coming in the Thunder zone as Vint and Jenner. Vint with the win on that one as that's up around the boards to Montgomery through center ice over to Vint, bringing it in over the blue line on the backhand up into the netting, just a couple inches up above the glass there. As
it's good.
Jeff signaling field goal, of course. It is Grey Cup Sunday.
It is Grey
for
Cup Sunday.
our Canadian football fans. As
or just football Sunday for you American football fans.
Yeah, it's always football Sunday. Well, it was Turkey Day, so there was a lot of Thursday football too.
It was. Back to hockey.
Yes, back to hockey. This is what matters here. 4-1's the score, 15:39. As the Thunder with the puck now. Edney with it. Pushing it down for Vint. Back up to Edney at the left point. The shot. Brian with a pad save and pushing it into the corner with her stick is Bram with it now. Bram up to Turnbull at center ice there. Edney knocking that one around. Turnbull going in hard and knocked off her stick by Edney. Edney losing her stick on that one. Campbell with the puck. Campbell at the face-off circle, cutting towards the front of the net, knocked off hers as Montgomery with it now. Getting center ice and dumping it in as the Thunder off on a line change. Aoki with it now on the right side over for Turnbull. Turnbull, rink wide. Jones breaking that pass up. And the Brampton player having to come up and touch. Simmons now with it. Simmons turning and dumping it in. Brian holding it behind the boards on an almost awkward bounce there. Aoki with it now, trying to get it through. And that broken up. Almost a good scoring chance for the Thunder as Hag with it now. Up to Wickenheiser, just out of her reach. As Stiles coming in over the blue line, shot and a save by Brian. Going to hold on to that one for another face-off in the Inferno end with 14:31 left in the third period.
And our out-of-town scoreboard update, it is 1-1 in the Montreal-Toronto game. During the first intermission, Marie-Philippe Poulin has the goal for Montreal and Sarah Stevenson has the goal for Toronto.
Face-off coming to the right.
Go Stevenson.
Of Brian. Yes, Team Stevenson. We're all about that. As Takeuchi around the back of her net, trying to get that to Hag. Goes the length of the ice. Icing waved off. There's Larocque with it back behind her own icing line. Edney up to McIntosh. McIntosh holds it at her half boards up to Edney just in front of the Brampton bench. As Edney with it now down the right wing, cutting over the blue line. That one's picked up by Saunier. Saunier with it now down the right wing over center ice into the Thunder zone. Down the right wing, makes a move around Larocque. Centering pass out front, and Wickenheiser couldn't connect on that as she was tied up by Edney. And Wickenheiser with the puck now down low behind the icing line. Edney all over her as puck squirts loose there. And Lovell in with it now. Lovell in behind the net. Lovell at the blue line, dumping it in on the backhand. Larocque in there. Esposito trying to get in. Larocque with it now over to McIntosh on the left wing. Lifting that up and out. As Crom with it. Jenner at center ice. Jenner trying to get in. Rattray knocking it off her stick. Stiles coming in down the right wing. And Pierre's there first, though. As looking for Esposito. And just out of reach there as we got an icing stoppage of play here. 13-19, 4-1 score. Third period action.
And that is exactly what you're getting, Marshall, is action here today. Back and forth right now. Brampton showing a lot of signs of life. And as we know, don't count them out.
And Jenner and Stiles in a face-off circle. Won by Jenner as Esposito now up on the right wing. Passing that up to Lovell as she gets in over the Thunder blue line. Lovell shot. And that went through looking for Jenner on a redirect. A little strong and out all the way is Cudmore with it now back at center ice. Up to Esposito circling in the slot. Shot over the net of Howe. And Fortino. Good to see her back out on the ice there as she's skating up over her own blue line. Right wing pass to Rattray. Rattray just puts it towards the net and a paddle save by Brian into the corner. As Jenner with it now on the left side, skating up through the Inferno zone into neutral ice. Right wing pass up to Curio in onside. Trying to get a shot off. Burchard knocking that loose puck in front. Howe with the save. Curio passing it behind the back of the net to Jenner. Pass out front. And Cunningham couldn't quite connect on it hard enough. Jenner with it again behind the net. Rattray with it now for the Thunder on the right wing off the boards and out. And we're going to get an icing call, and it'll be interesting to see if the officials can figure everybody out that was on the ice as Brampton was going on a line change there. And we're going to see a number of people trying.
Pulling them back, and it looks like they're doing a good job of it. Stiles, Burchard, and Fortino, thank you. Going back on the ice.
As face-off coming to the right of Howe. And we'll give that one as a draw. As King with it.
As clear a draw as you can get.
Yeah, Fortino up the left wing to Montgomery. Montgomery in. That one's broken up by Takeuchi. As King, though, trying to get in there. Montgomery with it now. And Bram in the low left corner here. Takeuchi with it now, skates behind the Inferno net. Drops it back for Aoki. Skates up the right side. Aoki with it now. And picked up by LaRocque at her own blue line. Looking up to King. King with a little extra tap there from Takeuchi. And the shot goes harmlessly beside the net there as Curio with it in her own end. Back to Aoki. Check that Takeuchi. That broken up by McParland. And loose puck coming in front. There was Vint trying to get something going. Couldn't do it. McParland up to LaRocque at the left point. Shot wide to the right of Bryan. Around the board, Simmons on the far side. As McIntosh with it now at the face-off circle, making some moves. LaRocque at the high left point. Shot through. There's a goal to make it 4-2. Jocelyn LaRocque. Delaney Bryan, no chance with all that traffic in front.
And I don't think McFarland got a piece of that. I think that was just straight through, but a good job screening in front by number 91, McFarland.
Yes, with a P. Yes, P.
The P could sound like an F still.
Only with an H. Or a different language. But yes, that's going to make it 4-2 here as we got 10:58 left in the second period. And the announcers giving that one to LaRocque, as I claimed it to be, because it did go straight through. Stiles and Wickenheiser in the face-off circle as that one's won. Edney with it now. Back to Stiles. Over to Jones on the left wing. Putting it on net. And that was blocked as the puck circles around the back of the net. Rattray with it now. Wickenheiser skating it up. Out through her zone. Campbell with it. Campbell drops it back to Wickenheiser. Knocks off her stick. As Jones with it now for the Thunder. A rink wide up to Rattray. Rattray with it. 3-on-2. Looking for Edney. Edney just off her stick. Edney still hanging on to it. Rattray trying to get to the front. Broken up play as Campbell with it now for the Inferno. Rattray running into Webster. And some of the Thunder player not enjoying that one. Turnbull dumping that in off on a line change. 10 minutes left in the third period. 4-2's the score as the Thunder looking to apply some more pressure. Fortino with it in her own end. Right wing pass up to Burchard. McParland dumping that in at the Inferno blue line as it bounces around the back of the net. And the Inferno managed to clear it out. Jenner with a stretched left wing pass there. Haig breaking in down the left wing. Looking to Jenner. And Howe getting her stick in the way to break up that centering pass. Takeuchi with it now. Dumping it in around the boards into the corner. Saunier there. Saunier with it now. Rolling puck, keeping that in at the blue line. Jenner in there, but Thunder managing to get to it. Fortino up to McIntosh. McIntosh left wing pass over to Burchard, gaining some steam, coming in, putting on the brakes, turning around. Up in the slot, Fortino shot, and Bryan with the save with 9:13 in the third period.
Well, CWHL would like to thank our sponsors, the Canada's Dairy Farmers, Scotiabank, Sportsnet, Winsport, Bauer, Tim Hortons, Toyota, Molson Coors, the Globe and Mail, Bridgeforce, Porter, Gong Show, Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Montreal Canadiens.
And face off back to the Thunder as King now behind the Inferno icing line. Back up to Edney at the left point. Down to King. Graham trying to get that out, can't do so, held in. Richards with it. Richards and Crom behind the back of the net. Richards with it now, drops it back there for King. Out front, loose puck. And Bryan steers that with her stick wide to the right. Edney at the left point. And Bram. And we're going to get a stoppage of play here with 8:38 left in the second period, or third period here, as Esposito, the penalized player, going off 2 minutes for tripping.
And this costly shorthanded situation is brought to you by Sockbox.ca. Don't find yourself shorthanded again. Go to Sockbox.ca to sign up and even the odds. Well, Inferno just giving Brampton a chance to get back in this game here. They have now given up the shot total, 29-28 for the Thunder.
And the Thunder winning that one as Fortino now up at the left point. Down to Stiles. Back up to the point for Fortino. Fortino skates down, swapping spots with Stiles. Fortino down below the icing line in the low left corner there behind the net for Rattray. Rattray Up to Burchard. Burchard over to King. Sorry, Fortino. One-time shot. Rattray saved by the sprawling Bryan. Still down. As loose puck out. Burchard with it. Fortino now left point. Back over to Burchard. Shot one time wide of the net. Into the corner as Hag with it now on the right wing. Gets center ice. And Wickenheiser in just an extra step ahead as we got 1:17 left in the penalty kill and 7:54 left in the game.
And Brampton looking very good on this power play with some good chances there. Delaney Bryan's going to have to be sharp to hold on to this lead here. You don't want to give the Thunder a chance to make this a one-goal game.
As face-off coming outside the Thunder zone in front of the Thunder bench there is Vint with the win on that one over Saunier. And Edney passing it around back to Larocque up the right wing to Vint. Vint trying to get through center ice, broken up there. Larocque with it now, skates over the face-off circle at center ice. Right wing pass to McIntosh. McIntosh and Crum battling. Campbell and Vint down low. And the Inferno grabbed that one, clear that the length of the ice. Right on target there as Howe. Make sure that one stays out. And Edney with it, drops it back behind the net for Larocque. Bram in on the forecheck. Larocque up to Vint on the right wing. Left wing pass over for McIntosh coming in over the Inferno blue line. Knocked off by Cunningham, and we're going to get another stoppage of play here with a hand pass. That one's going to come outside the Inferno blue line there with 29 seconds left on the Inferno penalty kill.
Well, big 29 seconds here in this game for both teams right now. A lot of things could change in only 29 seconds, including the momentum of this game, in favor of whichever team wins the next 29 seconds, potentially.
And Bram and Stiles in the face-off circle, won by Bram. An important face-off there. Yeah, she clears that one over and managed to keep it in on the blue line was Burchard as the Thunder applying some pressure. Stiles with it in front of the Inferno bench. Over to Rattray in a high slot, pushed down low. Jones wide of the net there. Cunningham and Jones behind the Inferno net. Jones with the puck now over to the left wing here for Burchard. Up high for Fortino. As Esposito looking to get out of the box. We're back even strength here. Loose puck down in front. Play broken up. Loose puck pushed wide of the net as Bryan couldn't get a handle on that one. Up high. And a point shot. Burchard wide. Bryan with a save on Jones with the nice snipe to keep it 4-2. 6:27 left in the third period.
Well, Delaney Bryan showing why she's in net right now for the Calgary Inferno. Some nice back and forth action there, keeping it out on the left and diving across on the right, as I thought Jess Jones had an yawning cage, and I think she did too, but Delaney Bryan said nope.
And Richards with the face-off win there as King with it. Pushed down to Richards. And Montgomery in there battling with it as Wickenheiser in there. Montgomery pushing it down behind the net. And we've got another penalty kill coming up against the Calgary Inferno, as it looks like Turnbull 2 minutes for tripping.
Well, the Calgary Inferno definitely giving Brampton every chance to get back in this one. This shorthanded situation is brought to you by Sockbox.ca. Don't find yourself shorthanded again. Go to Sockbox.ca to sign up and even the odds.
So it's going to be Vint and Wickenheiser drawing in to the left of Delaney Bryan as there's 2 minutes on the clock against Turnbull. As Edney at the close left point, she puts it on net, pad save by Bryan. Vint with it in the low left corner. Up to the point by Edney, back down for Vint. Over to Edney, shot. And that one didn't make it through as Cudmore went down to block that one. McParland with it now. Over on the right side, Larocque. Over to McIntosh, trying to get that back up to Larocque, circling around as Wickenheiser on her. The centering pass high over Edney's stick as the Inferno clear this one out. Wickenheiser now down the right wing against Larocque. Holds it the half boards there. Wickenheiser and Larocque battling. McParland in there as well. Puck down low. Stiles with it behind the Thunder net. 1:05 left on the penalty kill as Stiles breaks up down the right wing. In over the Inferno blue line, trying to cut towards the net, but Crum is there steering her into the corner. Up at the right point, Fortino Pushing that one down for Rattray. Rattray, rink wide saucer pass to Burchard. High slot, Fortino a little hot. Couldn't one time that one. Burchard back to Fortino. Fortino, rink wide, over to Rattray. And save by Brian up into the netting.
I think that was Erica Crom getting a stick on it there, actually, outside. It was a blur of a shot, so an easy one to miss.
I saw Brian flashing the leather, so I didn't even realize it was in the net.
I think the angle of where it went out of play, I think that was Erica Crom getting her stick on it.
And Jenner and Stiles, that one by Jenner with the win as she picks up the puck now. Clears it up off the boards. And Burchard back at her own blue line on the left side. Jenner picks that up at center ice, trying to make a move in, and it's broken up by Fortino. As Burchard with it now on the right side, skating up over center ice, coming in down the right wing. Does so onside. Cudmore steering her, blocking that centering pass. As Cudmore with the puck, 10 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Inferno. As that one bounces out just out of the reach of Stiles. As Fortino with it, skates in over the left side, back at even strength. Rattray with the shot and goes through the crease. As the Inferno trying to apply some pressure, get another one going here. Fortino with it now for the Thunder. Up to Richards, out of her reach. As Takeuchi with it. Back, pass right in front of her net there, over for Crom. As Bram with it now, down the left wing, leaves it for Turnbull. Turnbull at face-off circle, shot wide of Howe. It circles around the boards, the amount of force on that one. Pieri back in her own end. Campbell at center ice. That one's broken up by King. King for the Thunder, dumping that in. And Pieri behind her own net. Montgomery all over her as both players go down. And a puck circles around the boards, out to Larocque. Larocque going in, knocking Campbell down. King trying to make a move. Out by the icing line, King and Pieri. And Bram with it. Bram behind the Inferno net, circled around by Crom, up to Pieri. Check that Campbell. King knocks her, picks her pocket, and Larocque dumping that back in. As we got 3:10 left here in the third period. 4-2's the score, Calgary over Brampton. As that's lifted up at center, and in the length of the ice, there's Larocque back to grab it, circles around the boards there. Cudmore retreating back in her own end to grab it as Vinton on the forecheck. McIntosh behind her as well. Webster fanning on that one, can't clear that out. McIntosh keeping it in, down below the icing line there. Webster, though, grabs that one, skates behind her net, drops it back for Cudmore. Cudmore can't quite get that around. Fortino with it. Fortino centering pass out front, nobody there as McParland was tied up by Cunningham. And Burchard around to McParland. McIntosh with it, centering out front, loose puck. And a couple whacks at it by the Thunder, but couldn't get it on net. As up to the right point, McParland with it. Cunningham sprawling out, making herself a lot bigger than she is. And Burchard in the Inferno end. 2:10 left in the third period here. Loose puck, and a shot by Burchard as Howe skates for the bench. The extra attacker now for the Thunder. Burchard with it now. Fortino. Centering pass in on Rattray, the extra attacker, making her way into the slot there. Webster all over her, centering pass. Bryan gets a stick on it, push that out front. Loose puck down, and Bryan covers up for a stoppage of play here with 1:48, keeping it 4-2 on a number of great attempts there by the Brampton Thunder.
Oh, we have another goaltending change.
In this case, there is none, as Howe skated off to the bench there to get the extra attacker on almost exactly at the 2-minute mark. As this faceoff is going to come in the Inferno end, and it looks as though Brampton's going to call a timeout.
I was waiting for that. That's why I was letting you talk a little bit longer there. So the Brampton Thunder have called a timeout. This break in action is brought to you by the Alberta Athletic Therapists Association, taking time out to keep you in the game. So Brampton, another good opportunity here as they are trailing by 2, but still enough time on the clock to make this one interesting and force OT. Tony Bryan's going to have to be sharp again.
Yeah, well, they've got a minute 48, I believe, on the clock, because the timeout clock playing right now. So it will be interesting, and you know that Brampton is going to apply that pressure and really try and make that happen. It is indeed a minute 48 on the clock.
And Brampton currently out shooting the Inferno by 4, 33-29. So they've been pouring it on this third period once again with a couple of goals to show for it by Edney and Larocque.
So face-off coming blocker side of Brian. Looks as though it's going to be Stiles and Jenner in the face-off circle. Won by Jenner. As Pieri pushing that around. Up to the point, though, held in by Fortino. Rink wide over to Rattray. Back up to Fortino in the slot. Over to Richard. Down to Stiles. Stiles. Pieri all over her. And Esposito with it for the Inferno. Gets it up out of the zone. Rink wide up for Lovell. Lovell along the half boards, putting it at the net. There it is! There's a goal by Ilana Lovell to make it 5-2 on the empty net goal. With minute 23 left here in the third period.
And the leading scorer for the Calgary Inferno finds the back of the net there. That goal brought to you by the Calgary Old Time Hockey Association. Scored by number 15, Ilana Lovell.
15, Elena Lovell. Assisted by number 7, Brittany Esposito. Time of the goal, 18.
And so Lovell from Esposito to make it 5-3 as we're back underway. Crom with it back in her own end. Cudmore back to Crom. Crom losing the handle on that one and getting there before McIntosh did, though, is Bram with it now. Pass right in front of the net. Crom almost redirecting that in
to score
on
again.
An own goal as we've got 1 minute to play here in the third period. And Larocque trying to clear it out, can't do so. Bram keeping it in over to Turnbull. Turnbull shot, pad save by Howe. And Bram with it in the corner. Battling with Montgomery. Bram knocked down Larocque. Oh, we got a quick whistle there.
Hand up, we might have a penalty here.
And we're gonna get a call against Bram here. It looks like, I'm gonna guess this is gonna be a delay of game.
Quite possibly, we'll see what the signal is. Delay a game, we could hear the
I
signal.
could hear that.
Could hear it there. So Bailey Bram can call for delay a game, not moving the puck. Referee's decision. Shorthanded situation is brought to you by sockbox.ca. Don't find yourself shorthanded again. Go to sockbox.ca to sign up and even the odds.
So 6-on-4 right now is the face-off coming to the left of Brian, and Howe over on the bench as Stiles and Wickenheiser in the face-off circle. And we're getting ready to go here with 40 seconds left on the clock as Burchard with it for the Thunder now up at the left point, down low. And Jones behind the Inferno net. Rattray with it. Rattray gets it around Wickenheiser. Loose puck down front there. Jones with the extra knock. Couldn't get it in. Wickenheiser clears that the length of the ice. Is she going to get it on target? Just wide as the crowd really wanting Wickenheiser to get that goal here at Wickfest. As Rattray up to McIntosh here. McIntosh over the blue line, lifting it up, and Brian hanging on to that one as the whistle and the game horn blow. This is going to be a 5-2 final in favor of the Calgary Inferno.
Well, a great performance by the Inferno to hang on, withstand that onslaught in the third period by the Brampton Thunder. They get outshot in the game 35-31, but they win the battle 5-2 with Ilana Lovell sealing the deal with that empty netter there. We'll be having the 3 stars of the game here momentarily, and then we'll have an interview with each player, and then we'll head to our Boston Pizza Motel Village postgame show.
And by each player, you mean each of
team.
the 3 stars, or one?
No, each team.
Okay.
We'll have one
you
player.
did say each player, and
I
I'm like, there's a lot of players on the ice. We're going to talk to every single one of them.
Well, you know what? It would be nice.
That would be a very long, post-game show. But yeah, we'd be all right with that.
Oh, you did say there's 4 pizzas coming, so there's lots of pizza around for them.
There's more than that coming now. So.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah. Well, that's thanks to Chantel Champagne, their GM, looking to get a couple extra things going for celebration. As the Inferno players thanking the home team crowd here. It was a great turnout this weekend. Of course, that next game coming up next weekend. Here's the 3 stars.
Number 17, Laura McIntosh. Tonight's 2nd star from the Calgary Inferno, number 20, Jessica Campbell. And tonight's first star from the Calgary Inferno, number 22, Haley Wickenheiser. On behalf of the CWHL and the Calgary Inferno, we would like to thank you all.
And Haley Wickenheiser getting the first star honor. She did play a solid game there. A little bit of a nod to everything she's done this weekend as well in there. Laura McIntosh for the Brampton Thunder picking up 2 assists on the 2 goals for Brampton, and Jessica Campbell with a goal and 2 assists. All 3 players very deserving of the stars there. And we're going to get interviews with McIntosh and Wickenheiser. Jeremy will be standing by downstairs with that. We're going to run to a quick commercial break, then we'll be right back with those interviews for you. CWHL wish to express thanks to our sponsors, the Canada's Dairy Farmers, Scotiabank, Sportsnet, Winsport, Bauer, Tim Hortons, Toyota, Molson Coors, the Globe and Mail, Bridge Force, Porter, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Montreal Canadiens. And the Inferno would like to thank team sponsors, the Calgary Old Time Hockey Players Association, Alberta Athletic Therapists Association, Deckel Doctors, and Sockbox.ca. So we're just going to wait for our interviews to get set up there as Jeremy is ready there. So we're going to send it down to Jeremy with Laura McIntosh.
Jeff, I'm actually with Haley Wickenheiser right now. Terrific game, Haley. How did you feel in today's game?
I felt great. I mean, it's this whole event, this whole weekend sort of given me energy despite the long days put on the event. But, you know, it's nice to obviously get the win. I think our team played well this weekend, and you know, to have so many little girls in the crowd watching, I think it's great for the game of hockey.
Perfect. And how did Wickfest go for you this weekend?
Yeah, it went great. I mean, I'm just a small part of it. We have such a big team with 2,000 kids playing in the tournament, and I tried to get around as much as I could to see what I could. I think everybody is generally really happy with the event. It just keeps growing, and you know, we hope to just keep expanding it to more international teams and maybe move it around the country at some point in time. So I'm just really proud of our people that put this thing on.
Looking forward to next weekend. You guys face Toronto. What are your thoughts about them?
Well, they're struggling a little bit this year, I think, but they played us hard in Toronto. They're not easy games, that's for sure. I don't think any game in this league is an easy game if you don't come to play your best. So, you know, our keys are usually to get out with a good start, score early, and then try to make things happen after that. So we'll hope to have another 2 wins next weekend.
Perfect. Thanks, Haley. All the best.
That, of course, was Haley Wickenheiser, a very busy lady this weekend, and Jeremy was standing by with her. Do we have Laura McIntosh standing by as well there? Anyone? Bueller? Yeah, we do. All right. Laura McIntosh with Jeremy.
Hi, Laura. Thanks for joining me here. Just a tough couple of games here in Calgary, but I think a lot of positives to take out of this. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, coming off the plane, having to play, we knew Calgary had a great team. So coming here, we wanted to battle hard, and I think we did that, especially being down in both games, coming back and making an effort to do that last pitch and get another goal.
I was going to say, you guys have been down 4-0 and been in that spot twice, and you guys came back, you know, to battling back 3 goals last night, another 2 tonight, just coming up short in both. But you guys showing a lot of resiliency here.
Yeah, exactly. And last year I didn't play, so coming back and the whole atmosphere has changed for our team, and we're going out every game wanting to win. I think this weekend showed that coming into Calgary again. As I said, they have a lot of national team players. They're a great team, so we battled hard, and I think everyone's going to be happy with that.
So you mentioned you didn't play last year, so how does it feel being back on the ice here?
It's good. It's fun. It's nice to be back with the girls, a lot of girls that I've played with in the past, and playing against a lot of the girls that I know. So it's great to be back and finally getting my legs underneath me and trying to go hard every shift.
Looking forward to next weekend. You guys play Boston in Boston. So, you know, you guys have taken 4 games from them this year. What are your thoughts on them?
I think, again, just getting home, recovering from this weekend, going forward, having 2 good practices, and again, getting on the road, getting ready to go to Boston, and again, battling to win every game. Perfect.
Thank you, Laura. That's Laura.
That, of course, was Laura McIntosh with Jeremy Lee, our roving reporter on this day. Out of town update on the scoreboard. Natalie Spooner has scored for Toronto, making it 2-1 for the Furies over Les Canadiens with 8:06 to play in the second period there. We are going to wrap it up here from the Mark and McPhail Center for the official broadcast. After the break, we'll be back with our Boston Pizza Motel Village postgame show. I hit the right one. There we go.
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held fist stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over 5,000 teams.
100% drive. 100% passion. 100% effort. But women in sports get only 5% of the attention. Canada's dairy farmers believe women in sports should be seen and heard loud and clear. With Fueling Women's Champions, we're shining a light on women athletes at every level. Join us. #ChampionHer.
On behalf of the CWHL and the Calgary Inferno, we'd like to thank you for watching tonight's game. This game is brought to you by Dairy Farmers, Canada's Fueling Women's Champions. Fueling Women's Champions is a movement dedicated to breaking down the barriers that Canadian women athletes face at all levels of sport. We'd also like to thank league sponsors Scotiabank, Sportsnet, Winsport, Bauer, Tim Hortons, Toyota, Wolfen Coors, the Globe and Mail, Bridgeforce, Porter, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Montreal Canadiens, and of course the Inferno couldn't do any of this without our team sponsors, the Calgary Old-Time Hockey Players Association, the Alberta Athletic Therapists Association, Deckel Doctors, and Sockbox.ca. Stay tuned for the Boston Pizza Motel Village postgame show, where we'll hear from Inferno coach Scott Reed, eat a lot of Boston pizza, and talk to a few of the Inferno players. And of course, we're going to review all the stats and happenings from tonight's 5-2 victory over the Thunder.
Kimmy, you do know that there's only 4 seasons, right?
Then how do you explain the way kids wish away the summer because we can't wait to play in the fall? Or how teammates often become best mates? Or how families happily vacation in Winnipeg in January because that's where the tournament is? So you see, Miss Woods, there is a 5th season, and it's the best season in Canada.
So you're talking about hockey?
Oh, it's more than just talking, Miss Woods.
Scotiabank is proud to support over 5,000 teams in Canada's 5th season.
100% énergie. 100% passion. 100% effort. Pourtant, les femmes n'ont que 5% de visibilité. Les producteurs laitiers canadiens croient que les athlètes féminines devraient être vues et entendues haut et fort. Avec Nourrir la passion du sport féminin, nous célébrons les athlètes féminines de tous les niveaux. Joignez-nous à Vive le sport féminin.
Turn up the heat. Here come your Calgary Inferno!
Welcome to the Boston Pizza postgame
operation. The building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators.
And several of the Inferno players will set the stage for the next Inferno action, of course, coming next week back here at Winsport on Saturday, December the 5th against the Toronto Furies, who are currently up 2-1 over Les Canadiens in their action in the second period. And then we will head to Olds on Sunday at the Old Sportsplex, where once again we'll take on the Toronto Furies. That game at 12:30 puck drop in the Old Sportsplex. Tickets for that game only $10, so a steal of a deal compared to your regular $15 price tag here in Calgary.
Well, and why are we doing that game in Olds? That should be the question.
Well, the reason,
because I know you know the answer.
The reason we're doing that game in Olds, of course, is to promote the Olds College Broncos women's hockey team that's out there. It's their first season in the league, in the same league that the State Trojans, ACACA, whatever.
ACAC, 17 different teams in the league, yep.
Yeah, of course, State Trojans, Mount Royal. No, Mount Royal Cougars not in that one.
Not anymore.
You tell me who's in the league.
No, there's way too many. There's 17,
well,
I just said.
Some of the ones in Calgary.
Way too many, yeah. State is the only one in Calgary that's actually in the ACAC.
And then, of course, in Alberta, Nate is in there as well, right?
Yeah,
so Nate
and Olds and McEwen, and I mean, there's a ton of different ones. There's five women's team in that league as well. So a lot of parallels between the CWHL and the ACAC Women's League. And so taking that extra trip, Olds actually not all that far away, depending on who's driving, how you're driving and whatnot, and the road conditions, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour over to, and of course, depending on where in the city you're coming from as well. And so a great cause, again, to expand the game, expand the reach, expand the exposure, as we've heard from a number of those Dairy Farmers of Canada's commercials that we've got, as well as, even, with WICFest here, the goal around that, just expanding and promoting the women's game.
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity for people of Olds and that surrounding area, or even people from Calgary that want to head out there to see some exciting CWHL action. Had the chance to be on the road with when these two teams played last, and they were both very good games, very close games, and went right down to the wire, much like the games this weekend did, as you never really thought that Brampton was ever out of it, despite trailing 4-0 in both games. You had the sense that they were still in the game, still able to come back. And let's take a moment here to quickly recap the scoring summary from today's game. So the Calgary Inferno led it off with Jessica Campbell scoring on the power play from Elena Lovell and Jenna Cunningham at 10:47. Erica Crom then added one from Jessica Campbell and Jackie Pieri at 15:36, and then Jill Saunier made it 3-0 from Jenna Cunningham and Bailey Bram at 18:41. In the second period, only the lone goal from Blair Turnbull, assisted by Jessica Campbell at 3:11, and then 2 goals by the Thunder in the third period there, as Sarah Edney scoring from Laura McIntosh and Jocelyn Larocque at 2:04, and then Jocelyn Larocque getting one herself from Laura McIntosh and Dania Simmons at 9:03, but then Elena Lovell would seal the deal with the empty netter from Brittany Esposito at 18:37 to give the Inferno the 5-2 lead. Of course, shots on goal there was 35 for the Brampton Thunder, 31 for the Calgary Inferno, and
Thunder out shooting immensely, 16-5 in that final frame. Of course, that's part of their never say die mentality that is on the team this season.
Yeah, and Brampton going to the box 6 times, Calgary going to the box 8 times in that game there, with Calgary going the only power play marker there, going 1 for 4 officially on the power play, with Brampton 0 for 6 on the man advantage today. Also of note there, of course, the goaltending change coming after the disallowed goal that happened in the second period there, with Liz Knox coming out of the game almost right at the halfway mark there, 29 minutes and 27 seconds played. Erica Howe would be in net for the other 29:09. Of course, there was some time where the net was empty there towards the end of the game. Howe stopping all 10 shots that she faced, while Knox stopping 16 of 20. On the other side, Delaney Bryan stopping 32 of 34 shots. Another solid game by the #1 netminder for the Calgary Inferno, Delaney Bryan. She has been the backbone of this team's success, definitely on the defensive side of things there, with the Inferno giving up a fair bit of shots in almost all their games they've played.
In the first period there were a few times where Bryan seemed to not know where the puck was, or at least it seemed as though that's what it was. And I was wondering, she looked a little bit shaky, and made it through the first period, making some great saves. And out in the second period, though, you could tell that the DB that we know and love here in Calgary was back, and solely keeping a number of those goals out for sure.
Well, I think a lot can be said to the addition and coming back of Kathy Desjardins and what it's meant for Delaney Bryan as well. The two of them have an excellent relationship. They get along very well. They push each other both on the ice and have fun off the ice. And the two of them, I think it can't be understated of the effect that having Kathy Desjardins, even though we haven't seen a lot of her in the action, of what it's done to Delaney Bryan's play and pushed her to be a better goaltender than we saw her at most times last year. At times last year she struggled, and she was a bit of a question mark of what you're going to get, and it really showed when it came to the Clarkson Cup final, and you saw the playoffs there, and you saw the goaltending that Montreal got with Charlene Labonte, and it was big saves that resulted in turning points in the game, and Calgary just didn't get that from Delaney Bryan last year.
Mm-hmm.
They've already started to get that from her this year, so it's a good sign of things to come and a refreshed look for that. We're going to take a quick commercial break here, and then we're going to be back with Jeremy joining me on the program here as Marshall will get to take a little break there.
100% drive. 100% passion. 100% effort. But women in sports get only 5% of the attention. Canada's dairy farmers believe women in sports should be seen and heard loud and clear. With Fueling Women's Champions, we're shining a light on women athletes at every level. Join us. #ChampionHer.
And back here joined on the Boston Pizza Motel Village postgame show by our roving reporter, Jeremy Lee. Dressed very sharp. You're definitely outdoing us here up in the booth there, but...
Not in the first 2 periods there. I was still wearing my ice jacket and arena jacket. And
oh, so you dressed up for the show then?
Exactly, yeah.
So Jeremy, you got to take that in down from ice level there, get to hear a little bit more, see a little bit more. Did you overhear what was going on with that disallowed goal in the second period there? What happened with that one?
I overheard a conversation between the head official and Haley Wickenheiser, and there was some disagreement there between where the stick was as opposed to where the crossbar was, and obviously from the players' side of view, always they're going to say it was a legal goal, and in the official's eyes, in that case, it was not. So.
Definitely, and of course, in that one was the unique thing that happened there. Of course, Liz Knox coming out of the game at that time, thinking that they had just got the 5-0 lead there, and Erica Howe coming in, and then the goal being disallowed and the goaltending change staying there. One of those unique little quirks that happens in today's game there.
Yeah, and you want to see what the other goalie can do, because we saw 4 goals being let in last night's game as well, and so you want to give some experience to the backup goaltender as well.
Well, yeah, and Erica Howe is the starting goaltender for the Brampton Thunder, but they've been a really good timeshare going on in Brampton with the two of them, pretty much alternating games there, and probably one of the best 1-2 punches in the league when it comes to your starter and backup in 1A, 1B type of situation there in Brampton. Now, Jeremy, we're hoping we're going to get some of the players on here, and Coach Scott Reed there. When that does happen, we're going to let you take over and do the honors of the show here and go for that.
Sounds good.
You're kind of new to the CWHL this year, and you've been able to take in a little bit as you're going there and get more comfortable with it. What can you say about the crowd today?
I think it was excellent. I mean, for a morning game, we weren't sure what to expect, but I think it really helps when you have something like WickFest going on as well. It adds a whole bunch of girls teams were in here as well, and they really enjoyed the game, and I think that does a lot for the sport, does a lot for the team. And, it brings a lot of exposure to the city of who the Inferno are. And, we do have an excellent product on the ice. The girls are awesome. The team is great. And so, it's a matter of time before word spreads.
Definitely correct on that. And I know you do some work with Sade as well with the broadcasting out there. So you may be familiar with where we're headed to next week on the Sunday game out to Olds, and home of the Olds College Broncos and their women's team. What is that game going to mean for that program starting up in Olds?
I think it'll do a lot, because when you bring superstars like Haley Wickenheiser and Breanne Jenner and all these girls out there, I think that does, and Natalie Spooner as well from Toronto, she'll be out there as well. So they're faces that the girls recognize, that Canadians recognize, because they see them in the Olympic Games, and I think it brings it's one of those like craft hockey town moments, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And Olds is like the small town, and it puts them on the map, and I think that's great.
Definitely. And just a quick out of town scoreboard update as the game in Toronto has headed to the second intermission, but not before Ann-Sophie Batty could tie that game up, making it 2-2 going into the third period there. So a lot of action going on there. You of course can follow on with CWHL Game Live on the CWHL.ca site for updates on that one, because that'll likely continue on past our Boston Pizza Motel Village post-game show. Jeremy, the Brampton Thunder really poured it on in the third period. Did you ever get the sense that they were really out of this game until maybe that empty netter came in?
Nope, not at all. I never got the sense they were out of it, because they proved that they could come back last night as well. Obviously just a little short, 4-3. But they showed a lot of resiliency. Like I was talking with Laura McIntosh down there earlier, and You know, she really believes in the team and the talent that they showed it. You know, and they've come out and they've beat Boston this year 9-0. You know, so they do have a lot of scoring prowess on that team, and you know, obviously Calgary is not Boston, a very talented team. So obviously it was a little tough to come back from that, but they showed a lot of fight, a lot of pushback, and you know, I think it'll do them well down the road later on in the season. So yeah, they were really good.
Yeah, I think the most improved team this year definitely has to go to Brampton, going from the basement, missing out on the Clarkson Cup playoffs last year, to being tied with first in the league at points in the season there, and really holding their own, not only against the Calgary Inferno, but against the Lake Canadian de Montreal as well, who are arguably
surprisingly in a tight game here, hey?
Yeah, and Toronto, of course, is no slouch there, and I mean, Boston is definitely in a rebuilding year. It's a tough situation for them, but they are starting to get some momentum, get some growth going on, some chemistry in the room there, and really rallying around Tara Watchorn and the play of Genevieve Lacasse, who how can you knock her play and the amount of shots she's faced, and even what we saw here in the games when they were in town, it was 50-plus shots and only a handful of goals going past her.
That's
it's
exactly
an impressive performance for sure.
Yeah, it's like when Roberto Luongo was in Florida, you know, he'd face 50-plus shots a night, and that's the same with Genevieve Lacasse. She's in the same situation right now. You know, so it's unfortunate what's happening in Boston, and it is, like you said, it is a rebuilding year, and so hopefully for Brampton, they'll have a couple of games to build on here as they take them on next weekend.
Yeah, and as you mentioned with the interview with McIntosh there, they do go back to Boston, play another 2 games there. A unique scheduling quirk for the Boston Blades. They get Brampton 6 times in a row with the bye week this week, not playing anyone. Well, Brampton just gets the 2 games that they had sandwiched in here between that 6-game set, and then the 2 teams don't see each other for the rest of the season, barring a matchup in the playoffs. So a chance early on for Brampton to take advantage of Boston while they're still getting their feet wet as a team for sure.
Definitely, yeah. I think you have to exploit that right now when they're still trying to figure out their lineups, their chemistry, everything that's going on in the locker room. So, yeah, it's crucial for them to pick up 4 points next weekend.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Kimmy, you do know that there's only 4 seasons, right?
Then how do you explain the way kids wish away the summer because we can't wait to play in the fall? Or how teammates often become best mates? Or how families happily vacation in Winnipeg in January because that's where the tournament is? So you see, Miss Woods, there is a 5th season, and it's the best season in Canada.
So you're talking about hockey?
Oh, it's more than just talking, Miss Woods.
Scotiabank is proud to support over 5,000 teams in Canada's 5th season.
And we're back on the Boston Pizza Motel Village postgame show. Of course, I am Jeff Stevenson, joined right now with Jeremy Lee, our roving reporter, who is sitting in on our postgame show here. We're still waiting for some of the players and coaches to come here. We promise we will stay with you and get at least 1 or 2 of them on the show today, as they are still quite busy with all the fans and making sure that no one leaves unhappy and doesn't get an autograph that wants one. So you can't fault them for that. We can see a lot of them out just across the way there, out in the lobby there, signing autographs, and eventually someone will make it over here, and we will build off that once they do. Until we do that, let's talk a little bit about what's going on next week. We talked about the Olds game, but we didn't talk yet about the game that's happening here on Saturday, December 5th, which is going to be our 2nd annual Keep the Beat fundraiser for the Heart and Stroke Foundation, something that Inferno defenseman Jackie Perry has done a lot of building up for this and creating that cause there. Jeremy, what do you know about this event that you can share with our listeners here?
You know, to be honest, I don't know a whole lot. Yeah, like you just mentioned, Jackie, it's very near and dear to her heart, and I expect another full crowd coming out to that game. It's for a great cause, obviously, and you know, that's to the extent. Yeah, I don't really know too much about it, but
all right. Well, I put you on the spot there. Well, I've had to do some stuff on the computer that wasn't very fair to you, but Marshall knows how that's like as he's wrapping up some cables there. No, the Keep the Beat game, there is going to be a 50-50 draw. Okay. There's going to be some fundraising there, silent auction as well, and as well as a good time. The Heart and Stroke Foundation of Canada will be out there as well, doing some demonstrations, having some information there, providing some knowledge and facts that could quite possibly save your life. Especially, I know, as I get older, and I know I'm not in the best health, and I play hockey, knowing that what things I should be aware of and be improving on in my life definitely helps prolong in health and give me hopefully a healthier lifestyle that I can be doing this 10, 15, 20 years from now when all these players are making millions of dollars and every time the crowd is packed and loud roaring stadiums and everything's perfect.
But I think that's the point of these events and the special things that go on at the games, is especially a cause like this. You want to bring awareness for the players, for the fans that come out, especially the young ones, and they come along with their parents as well. And you want to make sure that, yeah, it is important to live a healthy lifestyle. It is important to stay active, and that just you want to jumpstart every day, the best way possible, and you do that by maintaining an active lifestyle for sure.
For sure, and let's, rather than us ramble about this a little bit longer, let's listen from the source herself. Let's pull up a video we played earlier in the first intermission here, but in case you missed it, here's Jackie Pierre talking about Keep the Beat.
So it's really exciting that we're going into our second year with this event. We're supporting the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and I've had two really close family members that have passed away from heart disease. My dad was actually on the ice when he had his first and his second heart attack. So I think we have an opportunity to really impact the hockey community and build some awareness about the risk of heart attacks while you're playing hockey, and especially in adult rec league and things like that. Well, I'm hoping we'll get even more fans there. I think the more people we can reach, the more successful this thing will be. So last year we had packed stands, and we're hoping to repeat on that, and hoping to raise more money for the Heart and Stroke Foundation as well. Yeah, that was great. And when we were in Toronto, someone came up to us last week. It was fantastic. We will have an online donation venue available. I think it's already set up, and if you go to the website, to our website, the Calgary Inferno website, you should be able to get linked up with the Heart and Stroke Foundation there. Yeah, I think the primary goal here is definitely raising awareness. So hockey has some unique risks. It's a really high intensity sport, and for men and women that are getting up there and are just playing once a week, there's a really high risk for heart disease. So going to your doctor, getting your heart checked out, things like knowing where the AED is in a rink, having a cell phone on the bench so that you can call 911 faster, things like that. That's all we're trying to educate the community about. So next Saturday at 6:15 we'll be at Winsport, our home rink here, and we'll be playing the Toronto Furies.
So Jeff, she talked about Keep the Beat, and they played the Toronto Furies next weekend. Obviously, we're looking forward to Keep the Beat. Looking forward to next weekend's games here. Toronto, they only have 3 points this season so far. What are your thoughts on that team there?
Well, they're a very unlucky team so far in the schedule and the games they've had. They've had certainly had their chances to win games. They both had both chances to win against us when we were there last weekend, and Calgary was able to hold on to at the end, get some great goaltending once again from Delaney Bryan. But they've got a goaltender in Christina Kessler who can steal a game on her own at any given time. We've seen that in years previously. As long as someone's out there to maybe send her a text and distract her from her game, like in that commercial, then maybe we got a shot to beat her there. But they've got some very good, talented players up front. They've got some players that are out with injury right now, just like us, who are not in the lineup there. And when they get Kohanchuk back, it's going to add another dynamic to their team that is going to definitely bring them up to another level there. And I think they're a team that right now, they're sitting there and they might be battling for that final playoff spot. And they're not really a team you'd be looking too happy to see in that first round matchup there, because again, they've got the goaltender, they've got the scoring power that they can steal games from you and surprise you. So you cannot underestimate them at any level. Natalie Spooner is an otherworldly player who is one of the best in the game by far and can control a game herself. And sometimes she puts that team on her back and leads it there. But there's other players in there who definitely have the ability to add to that offense there. As I mentioned, when Kohanchuk gets back, that's going to be a big boost for them. They also have Prevost as well, who has done a lot for that team. They're getting some secondary scoring now from Stevenson and other players that they've added in this offseason as well. And you can't ever count out some of the experienced players like Michelle Bonallo and the leadership that provides for that team.
Well, and in the sports world, some might call this a trap game, or in this case, a trap series, right? You don't want to overlook, oh, they only have, 3 points on the year, but like you had mentioned, they have a very talented squad, and so Calgary for sure will, no doubt, they'll have to be ready.
They definitely do, and there's no team in this league that you can overlook. I mean, yes, we look at Boston, and you look, they're a rebuilding team. They've got a goaltender who has kept them in games where they've been outshot by 20, 30 shots, and it's still been a close enough game that they could have come back and won that. And their team is improving and getting better and growing as a team. So you can't even count them out. I mean, Brampton's going to Boston next weekend. They could very easily split that series or lose 2 to Boston as well there. So there's no team in the CWHL that you can count out. Sure, there's teams that you might have to prepare a little bit more for, and you might be having circled on your calendar. I know the matchups with Montreal are circled in big red with the promotion team, because we look at that and say, yes, you know what, if based on paper and paper alone, it should be Montreal Calgary battling for first place. Brampton's showing that's not going to be the case. It's not going to be a game played on paper. It's played on ice, and for good reason, because it's a lot more entertaining when it's played on ice than it's when it's people like you and I telling who's going to win and who's not.
Totally. And with the game in Olds, do you feel that Calgary loses I know you had talked with Marshall in the earlier segment about it brings great exposure to the city and all of that, or to the town of Olds, and I think that's awesome. But in terms of, if you're looking at it from Calgary's perspective, do they lose the home game here?
No, I don't think you lose. You lose the home. You don't have the home game in Calgary, obviously, but it's still going to be a home environment out in Olds. I think that the way it's being promoted there, the way that tickets are being sold and everything for it, it is going to definitely be a home atmosphere, if not a very good atmosphere, and a very loud rink, I think, as well. We're going to take another quick commercial break here, and then when we are back, you're going to be talking with Alana Lovell.
100% drive. 100% passion. 100% effort. But women in sports get only 5% of the attention. Canada's dairy farmers believe women in sports should be seen and heard loud and clear. With Fueling Women's Champions, we're shining a light on women athletes at every level. Join us. #ChampionHer.
Welcome back inside Winsport. I'm Jeremy Lee, joined alongside Alana Lovell. Great game tonight. And now you have taken over atop the scoring lead here in the CWHL. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So 15 points for you, and you picked up at what, another 2 points tonight? And
yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel in tonight's game or today's game?
I think just about the same as yesterday. We had a great crowd, nice turnout again with Wickfest. I had a lot of friends in the crowds tonight. No, thank you.
No pizza for it.
But yeah, I think tonight's game was similar to last night's. We had a great start, got on the board nice and early, and then in the third we kind of had another slow start. Kind of got ourselves almost into a little bit of trouble again, but we were able to stick with it and kill off some penalties and then get one there at the end.
Perfect.
And on a good note.
Yeah, it was. Did you feel there was like some chippiness going on late at the end there?
Oh, definitely. I think for the rest of the season, I think it started last weekend actually in Toronto. We started getting a little more chippier in our games, and then again tonight, tons of body contact, sticks flying everywhere. So I think next weekend, or I guess after Christmas when we play them again, we're going to have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, and I think it's walking that fine line, right, between not taking penalties, but also playing with enough aggression where you are always constantly on the puck, and you created a lot of offense tonight because of your aggressiveness, right?
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and it's unfortunate sometimes when the game gets a bit out of our hands and we're getting penalties left, right, and center to both teams, but that also comes again with the aggression. So I think it would have been fun just to kind of let it go a bit more and see what happens, and sometimes the girls can calm themselves down, we can get back to playing hockey. But for tonight, I guess it was just PK, PP for the whole third almost.
Yeah, it was a crazy third period there for sure. And so looking forward to next weekend. You guys play Toronto now, and you've played them twice already. What are your thoughts on them?
They're definitely a skilled team. They like to play a team game, so they have some all-star forwards. Spooner had a phenomenal game when we played them last game. They have a good goaltender as well. So I think going into that weekend, we just need to work on fine-tuning some little things like on the power play, the penalty kill, and kind of work on what we've been trying to this entire week, which is net drive, and just kind of keep up the positive attitudes and work ethic and let the game, I guess, play itself out.
Totally. And the second game on Sunday will be played in Olds. And I know you've been around the Calgary now for a little bit and playing with the Dinos and everything like that. Have you played in Olds before?
I actually haven't.
Okay. So it'll be a new experience for you then.
Yeah, I have played with the Dinos. We did a couple small community games. I know the last couple years they've had a game out in Ponoka, and they've had 500-600 people turn out. So hopefully we get a great turnout out to that. And it's our Heart and Stroke weekend, so I highly recommend if they are residents in Olds that they come out and support that. But yeah, I think it'll be another great weekend with a great turnout, and that definitely gets us excited to play.
That's awesome. So 7 goals, 8 assists for you on the season. What's your secret?
Honestly, I think it's just having fun right now. I haven't played this kind of hockey in a long time, and at the end of my Dinos career, I kind of forgot that aspect of it. And so every game, I know I'm kind of an underrated player. I don't play on Team Canada or anything, but I just come into every game with just the little things. I want to play good defense, try and get the puck into their end as much as possible. Especially, it's kind of easy playing with Esposito and Jenner. They're such talented, skilled players, and they see the ice so nicely that they kind of make my job a little bit easier. And so I think they deserve a lot more credit too.
And so, what do you feel is the biggest part of your game that's improved from when you finished your Dinos career to now your first season with the Inferno here?
I think it's probably skating with the puck a bit more. Even if I guess you look back to our first set of weekends against Boston, I wasn't really that comfortable on the ice with skating, getting it up the boards and moving. And up until, I guess, probably this weekend, I kind of struggled with that as well. I'll get it and I'll look and I'll kind of pause. And this weekend, I tried to keep my feet moving when I did get it so that we can get it out of our end and quick into theirs.
Yeah, and I was going to mention you. I think you look a lot more confident on the ice as well, which is amazing to watch. So you've been a pleasure to watch on the ice, and we wish you nothing but the best next weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us in the booth here.
No problem.
Kimmy, you do know that there's only 4 seasons, right?
Then how do you explain the way kids wish away the summer because we can't wait to play in the fall? Or how teammates often become best mates? Or how families happily vacation in Winnipeg in January because that's where the tournament is? So you see, Miss Woods, there is a 5th season, and it's the best season in Canada.
So you're talking about hockey?
Oh, it's more than just talking, Miss Woods.
Scotiabank is proud to support over 5,000 teams in Canada's 5th season.
We are now back here at Winsport, joined by Inferno head coach Scott Reed. Scott, congratulations, 2 good wins this weekend. How'd you feel about those?
Yeah, thank you so much. A win's a win. Obviously, there's a few things we can improve on. We had 4-0 leads both night, but you got to give them credit. They never quit. They kept coming at us. So there's a few things that we need to improve on, but I'm really excited and proud of the girls for the 2 wins this weekend.
What did you learn trying to protect a 4-goal lead?
Don't protect it. Go play offense. Do what's made you successful. You can't sit back. You sit back, now all of a sudden you're on your heels. What made you successful, you got to just keep pushing and hopefully, get that next one and kind of get their spirits down in the dumps as quick as possible.
Perfect.
They kept going.
You have to keep your foot on the pedal, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 terrific wins, 4 goals. What did you like on the offensive end?
I think we're doing the little things. We were winning puck races. We had traffic going to the net. We had the puck going to the net with traffic. That makes it hard on the goalie. When you get traffic and you can't stop what you can't see. So if you can get people in front and get that puck there and then actually win battles, you can be pretty successful. And I thought we did that quite well.
And in this game here, I believe you guys took about 8 penalties. Are you concerned with the amount of penalties that you guys are taking?
Yeah. Timing of penalties is crucial too, right?
Yeah.
We're up, 4-0 going in the third. It's 4-1, 4-2, and now we're taking penalties in the third. That's the timing of it. Obviously, if you can't take penalties and you can get away with it, you don't want to be taking them, especially if they're 150 feet away from your net. So we talked about that, and hopefully we can learn from that.
I was just chatting with Alana, and we were talking about walking that fine line between finding that aggression and just playing on the good side of it, as opposed to being overzealous and taking so many penalties. Where do you feel they are on that line right now?
They're on it. They're on it. That's for sure. It's tough with the women's game. There's contact in the game, but they don't call There's contact in the women's game, but there's not supposed to be contact in the women's game. So there's such a gray area there that, like you say, it's such a fine line of taking the body to get puck position and get the puck. but yet not get a penalty. Obviously, there's no open ice hittings, but along the boards, there's a lot of contact. Now it's just a matter of what the refs let go that day. So it's a gray area, and you really have to find that fine line.
Totally, yeah. So looking forward to next weekend's games. You guys will be taking on the Toronto Furies, and I was talking with Jeff before. Yeah, they only have 3 points, but they have a very talented roster, you know, and we were talking about, you know, perhaps it could be a trap game of sorts. How do you view this next weekend's matchups?
Toronto's a great team. There's a lot of parity in the league this year. You know, you can't take a night off. You look at Boston. Yeah, we beat them pretty good one night, but the next night was a 2-goal game. You know, so and it's showing right now with Montreal and Boston. You know, or Toronto. It's tied up. You know, like there's parity everywhere. So you can't take a night off and just expect, you know what, it's going to happen, because it doesn't. So we have to just enjoy this, and then we're going to get back to business during the week and come up with a game plan, because it's going to be a tough series. It's not easy.
All right, perfect. Well, that will do it for us here at Winsport. Do you want to take us out of here? Sign us off, if you will.
I will.
That would be great.
Well, thanks for everybody for tuning in and watching, and hopefully we'll see you back next weekend.
Thank you.
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held his stick. Well, these skates